into something right now, All Things Bugs. That is a company sponsored by Bill Gates.
So you started the show and that came up? Oh, they buddy. Thank God we covered the blood of Jesus over here, boy. Indeed. Do it again for effect. Morning, people. It is Thursday, the 6th of March. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. I am one of your hosts for today, Martin Royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That is right. Not us matching.
Actually,
yeah.
I'm saying?
Great minds think alike.
That's it.
Good morning, Brent.
Good morning. Love you here.
Thank you so much. You know, I feel like Sister. No, T and Tamara, when they had that Sister rebrand.
Oh, yes.
That was the look they went for. But thank you so much.
All right, so we're gonna do a roll call. Good morning, chat. Let's see who we got. We got Energy. We got TT. We got Nams, Teddy Tibbs, Adele, Davina, DCF Mux, Timmy, Amy Snowglobe, Bex, T, Mr. Ashlows, 9 Ether, Priz, Abimi, Chijoke, Izzy Bambino. Who else we got? Antonia Hansen, Everest. Shout out you lot.
Shout out y'all. Good morning, y'all.
How are we doing this fine Thursday morning?
Blessed, highly favored.
Come on.
Glowing God.
Mm-hmm.
Sun is out, which is nice. E-Man, are you feeling hay fever coming up?
Yeah, it's starting.
My nose has been running. I said not you.
I had to get up from the show yesterday.
I think what's going on?
I was confused as well.
But I realized over the last 2 days I have walked, and I remember exactly where I was, and I said, pollen's out. Pollen is out. I've sneezed. I said, oh no.
Yeah.
And I've had a headache. I said, oh gosh, here we go again.
It's a damn shame.
I need to message Belinda. What was it she said we should do?
I was literally going to message Brent the same thing to ask her, what's the remedy? What's that thing?
She said something. I wish I'd made notes. She did say something that day, and it wasn't to do with honey, which I'm glad.
Yeah, it was something else.
Because that honey thing about going to contact my local beekeeper.
Yeah, it's long.
Tell me silly. I've got time for that.
Just around the corner from here. Just at the corner.
Yeah.
They sell honey. They make honey.
But this is not my area. To be fair, I'm here all the time, don't I?
Yeah. This is your local.
Okay.
Yeah. I only saw it the other day.
Because I'm like, what if the SEBs aren't familiar with me? I take the honey.
Oh, fair. That's why you want the local.
Because that's what
what
they tell you, that you should take the local ones, because that's where the pollen. Mm-hmm. But bees, no?
That's what I would have thought.
Like,
I would have thought as long as it's a farm.
And isn't exactly, and isn't pollen bees having sex?
Well, yeah, it's part of it, I guess.
Animals having sex is the most disgusting thing. It really will make you celibate. It's just so disgusting.
What's
especially
disgusting?
foxes.
Having sex?
Animals.
Oh, okay.
It's such an animal, like it's such a. You know what? Sex outside of the act, which I know nothing about, obviously, but outside of the act is actually quite a disgusting act. You know, if you look at it outside of it,
okay, I get you.
It's just so like, get a grip.
Explain what you mean.
I just think it's so like, it's embarrassing. Cut long story short, it's just embarrassing. It's just like all of that, and for what?
For existence.
But it's just like, it's just, because you know what? Have you ever seen a dog humping a cushion or something? Or another dog or something?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So, I'm just like, that's what human beings look like.
To be fair.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just like...
We're all animals. So I'm trying to tell you.
Not. Celibate. What are you going to say, Brent?
Like, there's no like romance or nothing with the dogs, isn't it?
They just go for it.
Just sniff. Bang, 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 bang.
And then that's it.
And then, like, you move it, it's still bang.
That's why you shouldn't have sex with people that don't like you. Because they do like the dogs do. And it's not fun.
Mad.
Well,
yes.
that's great. That's great. Do you guys practice? Oh, you're doing Ramadan?
Yeah.
You do Ramadan?
Yeah, 100%.
You're fasting?
Yeah.
If I see you here, come with food. What time? Not an oat bowl, nothing. Okay, and then Brent, do you do Lent? You practice Lent?
No.
Okay.
What's that?
He said what?
Basically, I'll be honest with you. Maybe I'm not okay.
Is it?
Don't take offense to however I say it. It's not Ramadan, but it's for the Christians, right?
Is it
They said the 40 days leading up to Easter.
England? What is it?
What? You fast. It's a fasting. 40 days. Now Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights.
Is it denominational? Is what I'm saying.
I feel like it's a Catholic thing.
It's all Christendom, you know.
It's not mine.
Many people don't do it, but it's not a Catholic thing.
I feel like it came from Catholicism. I love that
Who
word.
brought it into
To be
the?
fair.
They brought it in.
Was it the Catholics?
To be fair, what didn't come from them? You know what I mean?
There you have it.
Then yeah.
I think it's from the Catholics, but a lot of people practice it.
Yeah.
Respect.
And then
Even
eat
people
fish
I
in the
don't
day.
see.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that one. But then I think what I find interesting about it is people say they're giving things up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't.
Not even that, but like you can't give up something you don't regularly have. The whole point of it is meant to be sacrifice. So imagine me saying I'm going to give up wache.
Yeah.
I've never had that.
Yeah, that's true, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? You got to give up something that's like part of like, if I give up like herbal tea,
Yeah, exactly.
that's
Yeah.
a sacrifice.
It should be fasting though, proper fasting.
It should be proper fasting.
But like you're saying, I think nowadays, well, not nowadays, for the last how many decades now, probably longer, you just give up something that you kind of rely on.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
basically.
saying? So it could be chocolate, it could be ice cream.
People give up, what's it called? Social media as well.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that would be a good one.
That's a good one. Should give that up anyway, but like regularly. So people give up stuff like if you're doing Lent, please let me know what you're giving up. I'm always intrigued.
When did this start? Was it Ash Wednesday it starts?
Yeah, Pancake
Yesterday.
Day. Happy
Okay.
Pancake Day, y'all. That went by.
Happy Pancake Day?
Happy Chimamanda Adichie Day. Because she released a book.
A new book?
Dream Camp, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I got it.
Nice. You started reading it?
Second?
Have you started reading it?
Yes, I read it yesterday.
Good.
I like it. But like I feel like I'm trying to get because okay, honesty, right? It starts off the character. Well, I don't know if it's different stories. I didn't read the back, but anyway, it starts off in like COVID time. And I have a thing. I'm sick of like content about COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Like when the TV shows I was watching regularly were doing COVID episodes. It was nice for some parts, but it's like, okay, we've heard.
Yeah.
Mind you, by the way, happy COVID anniversary. The other day it was 5 years. I think it was this week. I remember someone tweeted it and she said, this time tomorrow was when it was like a lockdown thing, blah, 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 blah.
That's insane.
That's half a decade ago.
That is true, you know.
Crazy. So yeah, so the book starts off about referencing COVID. And so that just makes me feel like, ugh, not COVID again. But we haven't even finished chapter 1. So yeah, we'll see. But
Man.
she's super talented anyway.
Oh,
So
very, very.
like crazy talented.
Yeah.
And I heard she just had twins actually.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
last
congrats.
month she actually. I heard she gave birth to twins or something like that. So big up her.
Congrats to
Congratulations,
her,
you know.
man.
But yeah, big up to Amanda.
Yeah, man. Also,
Yes.
happy Independence Day to Ghana.
Today. Oh, Ghana 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you very much.
Big up Ghana, man. I think
Big up the Ghanaians.
the first sub-Saharan African nation to get independence.
That's sick.
Yeah,
That's good.
1957.
Love that for them.
Big them up, man.
97.
1957.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's nice, man. But yeah, all right. Should we get into our headlines?
Let's do it.
Thank you.
All right, people. So the US has stopped sharing intelligence with Ukraine after Donald Trump's suspension of military aid on Monday in another serious blow to Kiev in the war with Russia. White House officials indicated that both bans could be lifted if peace talks make progress. Ukrainian officials suggested the US would no longer provide information about targets inside Russia, hindering Ukraine's ability to carry out effective long-range drone strikes. This would leave Ukraine in the dark over the movements of Russian strategic bomber aircrafts and the launches of ballistic missiles. Ukraine's president is seeking to repair relations with the US after his meeting on Friday with Trump and his vice president, J.D. Vance, during which Trump publicly berated Zelensky and accused him of not wanting a deal with Russia. On Tuesday, Zelensky wrote a conciliatory letter, and in it he said he was committed to negotiations and ready to work with America under Trump's strong leadership. Next headline, and Arab leaders have approved a reconstruction plan for Gaza, spearheaded by Egypt in collaboration with Palestine. The initiative, now an official Arab League proposal, rejects any forced displacement of Palestinians and outlines a structured path for rebuilding the war-torn enclave. The plan includes clearing debris, restoring essential services, and securing international funding through a trust overseen by the World Bank. It also proposes long-term urban development, including greenhousing, industrial zones, and key transportation projects, such as a commercial port and an airport. Beyond reconstruction, the initiative aims to establish a new political and security framework for Gaza. This framework preserves Gaza's legal status as part of a future Palestinian state alongside the West Bank. Egypt will host an international conference in cooperation with the United Nations to coordinate global support. And the Arab League has also called on the UN Security Council to deploy an international peacekeeping force in Gaza and the West Bank to stabilize the region. And our last headline, Britain has joined Germany and France to warn that Israel could be in breach of international law by halting the entry of aid into Gaza, which is facing a catastrophic humanitarian crisis. The Foreign Secretary David Lammy signed a joint statement with his French and German counterparts to urge Israel and Hamas to engage constructively to get ceasefire talks back on track. Israel cut off humanitarian supplies to Gaza on Sunday in an effort to push Hamas into accepting a change in the ceasefire agreement to allow the release of hostages without an Israeli troop withdrawal. The 6-week-old ceasefire is in limbo with no sign of movement towards a second phase that was scheduled to have started last weekend. The foreign minister said in their joint statement that they shared deep concern over Israel's decision to hold all goods and supplies going into Gaza, which they risked violating international humanitarian law. And that's it for our headlines.
All right, let's get into what you're saying topic of the day.
All right, people. So, today's topic of the day, I thought do something a bit lighthearted, but somewhat serious too. Because a lot of the time we criticize our leaders, right? If you identify as one of their, you know what I mean? So I thought, you know what? Fun exercise for everybody in the chat as well, people listening, whatnot, and us in the room. If you were the president, if you were the leader of the free world, seen to have the most power in the world, right? What would you do? So I'm going to give you guys a few questions. While we're discussing it, I didn't want to give you guys too much of a heads up, but I put all the questions in the doc. So whilst we discuss, you guys can look at some others to kind of prepare yourself a bit. Yeah. I probably won't go through all of these questions, but we'll see what happens. First question I'll ask you guys, So you're the leader now, You live in a world, you know what? Trump is still around. Yes, you're not the leader of America. Okay. So another powerful nation.
The UK is enough for me to do what I need to do. I take Switzerland.
And one thing, by the way, So, what would you change immediately?
So I'm still me, and I'm the leader.
Yes.
Do you remember that year, that fateful year? You might remember. But Brent, do you remember that year where we all updated our iPhones, and U2's album was on our phones?
Yeah.
For what?
I think it was Apple Music, no?
Yeah, it was Apple Music. It was on every iPhone in the land.
That's insane.
Everybody's phone in black. That's my first action.
All right, then.
Like, you can't delete it because I couldn't delete YouTube's album. I had to change phones. I had to change devices. That would be my first thing. If I'm being serious, as I am, and I'm sat here, everyone will by force.
Okay.
Especially in the whitest parts of the land. They follow twice.
Okay, cool. Brent, what about you?
The first thing that came to mind was releasing the Epstein files.
Oh. Did you see a list the other day? I saw a list online. But then the caption on the list made a point to say that Jay-Z was not on the list. I don't know how factual this list is. I'm not saying Jay-Z is on the list, but I just find it funny that there's bare people not on the list, but the first go-to was Jay-Z not on the list. So I thought, interesting. Did you see that, Brent?
Yeah, the information that was released was already publicly available, so it wasn't the actual information that people were looking for.
Do you know, can I have two things? I would release the actual file of what happened to Diana.
To be fair, there's a question that will give you guys the opportunity to say this.
Because I've always said when I die, obviously, going to heaven, Greek God, everything, there's certain world mysteries I want to know.
Yes.
And in my mind, there is the ability for us to play back. so I can actually watch it in real time, like I'm watching a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Diana's one of them. I'm gonna do the Crown Heaven special. That's what I want.
Okay. Heaven special.
Yeah, Heaven special. Let's go for it.
All right, cool.
What would you do?
Make everyone join the NOI.
There you go. That is it right there.
It's actually
I would get everyone, yeah. All black people to have to join some sort of organization.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
But wouldn't they be by default part of your organization?
That would be
There
great.
you go.
But I don't want to be a dictator now. You know what I'm saying? So
You're now telling me what you're going to change immediately for the country.
yes.
Okay.
But yeah, basically, everyone to have an organization. And yeah. All right. What would you keep the same?
Me being the leader. To further notice, what would I keep the same though? What do I like about life as I know it? Ulapula, I think that says the removal of all anti-homeless architecture. That's a really good one.
Can you explain that to me?
So you know, like, I thought I knew it. But in my mind, yeah, there's certain places where you can't, like, you see how people are homeless, right? There's just certain places where they can't shield. In my mind, I think this is what the person's
That's
talking
what I'm
about.
thinking as well.
So I think they're saying that they will remove all of that stuff, all the thing that doesn't allow homeless people to be shielded.
Does that basically mean also put back things? So maybe put back benches, put back, like you said, shelter places, not bus stops necessarily, but
Someone
stuff like
did
that.
something the other day, and I think it was Richie Brave that then. No, I don't think it was Richie actually. Someone did something in
I
America.
think I know what you're talking about.
And they were like, if this was the UK,
Yeah. It was that.
what was it?
It was a lady who basically, with some neighbors, built a bench for a bus stop.
Yes. So there was a bus stop that had no bench, and they built one. And then someone from the UK, I'm not sure if it was Richie, but someone from the UK said, if this was the UK, all the neighbours will band together and start complaining about it and say, now we're going to have the homeless just sleeping on these benches for no reason. So I'm assuming that's what the person means. But if that's not what you mean, please explain what you mean.
Because I was there picturing like sidewalks with spikes on them.
They don't exist now, Brent. But so they will remove things that are anti.
That's an anti-homeless
100%.
initiative.
But it doesn't exist at the moment. Does it?
But this is
That's wild.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's horrible.
That's was the first time I heard that sentence.
Maybe that's why they're making the pavement smaller.
Oh,
they
people
keep
are
making the
saying
cycle
they make
lanes-
benches uncomfortable to sleep, like studs on benches. Let me see what a stud on a
What's
bench
What's the
is.
stud on the bench?
That's insane.
I don't know what a stud is. I know earring studs and lesbian studs. What studs are there?
Yeah, what's that on benches? Sure, you won't be able to sit on the bench.
Ah,
Oh, is it those handles?
I was right.
Oh,
The
is it? Tell us.
spikes.
Look,
Oh, those. Oh, yes.
look.
That is true. Ah,
These people are wicked.
So is that why they did it? What's that headline?
That's not nice.
Yo, I would walk with plyboard.
What does this headline say?
I wouldn't ask for money. I ask for plyboard.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Ben, what's the headline, please,
Hold up.
on this article? I wonder if it's a homelessness conspiracy.
Anti-homeless spikes. Sleeping rough opened my eyes to the city's barbed cruelty.
Interesting.
If I was a journalist, I'd like to write stuff about this.
Yeah. You're seeing things.
That does pose a question, though.
Yeah,
In certain areas, this is coming from other people who are watching the show.
absolutely.
Because these
course.
people are wicked.
That's mean. Because you know, like, even the benches, they have handles in between now sometimes. And I'm like, first of all,
What do you mean?
remember benches used to be just plain, just a bench. But now some of them, they put handles in between. They can't lie down on
Oh,
it.
yes. Yeah.
But sorry, what are you going to say from the person
Yeah.
who's watching the show?
From the other people watching. of course.
Absolutely.
Are there not certain areas where you don't want homeless people? And maybe you don't want, like, things that dirty the area and stuff like that. I'm just saying.
Give me examples, because I don't mind homeless people.
You know what?
Like,
You know what?
yeah, man, and feed them and stuff, innit? Not the heroin addicts and stuff. I'm talking about the.
Do you know what? Unpopular opinion, yeah. I think
Because they
it's-
pretend to be homeless, innit?
They're heroin addicts.
Yeah, yeah,
They are.
they
They're
pretend
heroin
to be.
addicts. They're not pretending.
Nah, some of them are not homeless.
If they're on heroin, they probably sold their house for £5 to get a bit of crack.
The government's paying for the house.
But you know what it is? You know, so man, he's surprised at how far he's taking this. He was like, "Ooh, I didn't even see that coming." So here's my unpopular opinion here. When people say they don't want to give money to homeless people that look like they're addicted to drugs and stuff, I just feel like you would be addicted to drugs too if you were out there, rain, sunshine, snow, whatever the case is. Like,
No.
I have empathy for their drug addiction.
Why did I say no? Probably.
Yeah, go on.
No,
Why
I
you say
wouldn't
no?
be on it, but I can see why they would.
Yeah.
Because they want to dull everything around them.
Exactly. So, yeah, I don't think I would be on the drugs, but I can understand why it is that they're on drugs because the reality is different. Like when it's windy and when we're running home, like when it's raining and you're running home quickly to shelter and shield, they don't have that.
Yeah.
They have to just lay there. So sun, snow, cold, ice, everything from heat wave to the snowiest days, they're just out there. So I give grace for that. Like I can understand why that could be what they do. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying whatever the case is, but for me personally, it's not enough reason for me not to give them money anymore. I thought that when I was younger, but when I grew up, I said, nah, because who am I to dictate and say that you must, if you're not going to spend the money on food, you're not allowed to have the money. While I'm here, sorry though, but I think people have a weird thing with money. Because I hear a lot of people talk about, like, say for example, they loan someone money and then they see the person out. And then they're upset that the person's out. Like, I don't get that. I think human beings are so weird because if you're going to do a good deed for somebody, then shut up. Why do you feel like you must police the good deed? It's not a good deed then. I find that conversation so annoying.
On that point, remember what you said that.
I will.
Good morning, Saleh.
It really irks me.
Good morning, people.
Morning,
How's everyone
Saleh.
Good morning.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well indeed. Esther, I'm loving the hair, man. You're looking very nice.
Oh, thank you, babes.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Yes. But yeah, on this topic of the homeless people and these studs and things that they put around places to stop homeless people sleeping in places, I don't necessarily think those need to be removed. I think they're a good thing because at the end of the day, I don't think anyone should be sleeping on the street. I think what needs to be done is there needs to be, like, if you're putting those things in place, then you need to provide a place for these people to actually go.
Yeah.
Because just stopping them from sleeping on benches, but then not giving them an alternative and a warm, safe alternative, that's the problem. Not necessarily the fact that they can't sleep on the benches. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think that's what needs to be done. And then, wait, sorry, I was also like sending emails. So I was half listening. Are we talking about what we would do if we were dictators in this country?
No, not dictators. You heard what you want to hear. President or leader of a country.
Okay.
Saleh.
Okay. I know 100% what I would do.
Let us know.
I would.
You change the national diet. That's what we do.
Well, the Ministry of Health in 1955, they told everyone to eat more carbs, and now 140,000 people are dying from heart disease and metabolic syndrome every single year. So I would reverse that number and bring it back down to zero and set out to do exactly what they tried to do, or what they pretended like they were trying to do, which was tackle obesity in the country. I will actually achieve that. And yeah, it's that simple.
Okay.
You be worse than Margaret Thatcher taking them kids' milk.
No.
I'm gonna take the bread and the nuggets.
People will stop dying, and not even just that, but the bill on the NHS will drastically decrease as well. So then there will be, in fact, I will save this country, because then okay, first of all, people are going to be healthier, people are going to be more active, people are going to be more capable, and then they're going to have more energy. The economy is going to thrive. And then also, we're not going to be putting as much money towards the NHS, not even just that, but the money that we are putting towards the NHS is going to be allocated better towards things that need to be saved, the things that need to be fixed, and not just type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Because people are dying for silly reasons, because we're getting them addicted to chocolate. Silly.
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 Yeah, I mean, we had a passion, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Because I always know that after I speak and these things and people hear the energy and all these kinds of things in my voice, people say, oh, he's not had carbs or blah blah blah. I'd like everyone to know, guys, I am fasting. I haven't eaten since last night. I just woke up. I went for a jog. I've done my pull-ups, my dips. I'm not eating for the whole day. I'm not going to eat until I break my fast.
That's right.
So yes, this is the sort of energy that you can have when you come off all this rubbish bullshit food and you start eating the foods that we were actually designed to thrive on. Yes. Now I do need to go. I've got a very busy day ahead of me. But everyone have a fantastic day. Love you
Have a
guys.
lovely day.
See you later.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you, Sally.
Bye bye.
That might have been one of his best calls. To the point, effective.
Possibly.
to the-
Yeah,
and
short,
gone.
quick, done.
But you were going to say something?
Yes, lending people money and then looking at their socials to see if they're spending it when it's past due to run it back to
No,
you.
past due is different.
Oh.
No, past due is different because you're cheeky for that. I feel like people need to communicate. If someone loans you money and you're unable to pay back at a date that you've agreed with them, the same voice you used to ask them, you should use that same voice to let them know that I can't afford this right now, or whatever the case is, give me some more time, blah, blah. I'm not against that at all. I'm saying that, so say for example, one of my friends come to ask me for money, right? And I've loaned them the money, but then I see them on holiday. I'm upset that they're on holiday because you just came to me last month to ask me for money. But that's none of my business, whatever they're doing. Do you get me? Like, some people don't want you to live. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you buying anything. They don't want to see you celebrating. They don't want to see you looking like anything other than sad and broke because they've loaned you money. I think that's what I think is so, I think it's just so out of order. Like, what do you mean you've loaned someone money and now they can't celebrate their birthday? They can't go to someone's party. They can't live. Just because you feel as though because they came to ask you for money, they should be down low and bad until further notice. I just think it's so crazy. If you owe someone money and you're doing all of those things, your priorities messed up. But,
If somebody comes to ask you for money, would you ask them what for?
no.
Aw.
It's not my business. Are you going to pay me back?
Aw.
You going to pay me back or not?
How about you? I'll respond to that question just now. How about you, Manuel?
I don't think so. I think if it was a large amount, maybe. But my
Actually, I'll say
urge-
the same thing, okay?
So yes, it depends on how much you ask for.
only because I feel like if it's a large amount, it might be a business opportunity. So
Oh, I thought they owed
let
someone
me
money.
know. Nah.
Oh, I thought they owed someone money. I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, no. I would not ask that. But typically, my urge wouldn't be to find out why. It's not my business.
Interesting.
What do you ask people? You give out ask people vibes.
100%.
Why? What's got to do with you?
I don't understand what you're saying.
You know, my question is, why would you ask them?
Wait. I'm trying to basically put my mind in a state to have this conversation.
Okay,
Give me a second.
he's doing this.
Only because I look to check myself based on how you respond to things I ask you.
Oh, okay, fair.
So how you all responded, I don't like. Wait, am I in the wrong?
Am I the problem?
I was like, nah, I won't ask. I'm thinking.
So now you're questioning why you would ask.
In my mind, I think it's important because what you may be asking me for money for, I might have a solution without me needing to give you money.
Okay, fair.
That's nice.
Okay, that's fair then.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different to people asking just to police it because sometimes
Yeah.
you know how something can be important to you but not important to somebody else. So some people ask the reason because they're trying to deem how important the thing is, and then they based on what you responded, they don't deem important and they're like, oh sorry, I haven't got it then.
Yes.
And I think that's crazy. You would also do
that's
that.
fine. Yes.
You are crazy.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you leaving me crazy because
Jokingly, please.
if you come
Brent
to
have.
ask me for money to buy trainers,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I need this money for something
More important.
more important. Not giving you the money.
But what if it's important to you, though?
And I know that you're asking for food, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's different.
And I could go without.
Yeah.
There you go. Do you understand?
I get what you're saying, but then I feel like with that though, the way I see it is I either can afford to do what I can't. If I'm going to sacrifice because you need food, I can either sacrifice the money or I can't. Basically, that's how I see it. Because, say for example, trainers. Yeah, I know this might be a wild example, but as one example of trainers, that might be someone who typically buys exclusives and then upsells it another time or blah blah blah. Like, that might be what they do, or whatever the case might be. Or it might be an exclusive that they've wanted, but due to somebody else. Because that's another thing, the context. Someone else might owe them money. Or da, 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 da. Do you get what I mean? They might have made sacrifice for somebody else, which is why they're not able to afford this thing now, blah, blah, blah. So I just think that different things mean different things to people, depending on how you're looking at it.
All right.
And for that reason, I can't then judge how important something is to you.
And fair, and I believe it's always a sliding scale, right?
Yeah.
Because let me go further.
Yeah.
Would you give expecting it back?
Give is different to me loaning.
So when you'd asked, you were talking about loaning?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was just when somebody asks you for money, then would you give it to them? I don't know if it is you specified.
I was
whether
never
it a
thinking paying
loan.
back.
Yeah, I was thinking loans, man.
Oh, so that's what you're stipulated right from the beginning?
Yeah, I was talking about.
Yeah, that's why you're thinking,
Yeah,
why are they
that's a
out
payback.
there doing certain things that haven't paid you back your money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you said something about kindness in the beginning.
Yeah, so I'm talking about because there's still kindness to works into that. If you're gonna loan someone money and you want to do it because it's a good thing, like you want to show up for them or whatever, then show up for them without policing how it is that they spend the money that you've loaned them.
All right.
That's what I mean.
Cool. If they come for a loan and they've asked for £150, would you want it back?
I want all my money back.
All right. Even
If you,
20
but that's the
pounds
thing.
or
That's
whatnot.
different though. If you say, "Oh, do you have a spare?" Then that's fine. But sometimes I can give it to you and be like, "Oh, don't worry about paying that back, by the way."
All right.
But if you come to me asking for a loan,
Yes.
I will give it to you as a loan. If I have so much to where I don't need that back, I'll say, "Oh, by the way, don't worry about paying it back."
All right. So only if they stipulate the request by saying, "Have you got spare?" is when you ask them what for.
No, I don't ask people what money's for at all.
All right. So if they come to you and say, I would like £500
Yeah.
or £5,000, they're not asking for a loan. They're asking if you've got to spare that. You would say no.
If I don't have it, if I have it spare, then I can give it to you. Actually, no. Yeah, if I have it spared, I will give it. If I don't have it spare, then no.
When you say spare,
Like I'm not. If the money goes, it's not going to infringe on my bills. It's not going to infringe on things I personally need to do. I can afford to give this to you and not miss it. Basically,
that would be the same for the loan.
yeah,
So if they ask for a loan for 5,000,
yeah.
you'd be like, "Nah, I can't."
If I say, for example, I had a mortgage to pay and it was £5,000 and I need that £5,000, then no, I don't have the money to loan you. No, I don't.
Fair. And you also, Emmanuel, is that your same sentiment? Ask a few questions.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Which one?
First of all, if they come and ask you for money, if it's a loan, would you ask them what for?
No, I wouldn't ask.
All right.
Unless, like I said, there was like
If it's a
huge...
large amount.
Yeah.
And what's that particular ceiling for you? Where is that threshold?
What, where I say no or where I ask?
Where you ask?
Oh no, like maybe in the grands, like 10K maybe, 5 to 10K up.
All right, okay. And is that like you also, Esther? Then
No,
you-
but I still wouldn't ask them.
Oh.
But I think what the question I wouldn't ask you what you need the money for. I would more be like, is everything okay? Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna ask me for a large amount of money, I'd be like, oh, is everything okay? Because I may be able, again, like you said, I may be able to help in other areas as well. But I wouldn't ask you what do you need the money for.
Is that a way of basically trying to find out?
Oh, no. But it's me finding out if you're okay. Are you in debt? Are you in trouble? It's more your well-being. But I think also, to be fair, it depends on the person as well. Because if, for example, my sister now, my current banking situation, if she came and asked me for $5,000, it's like, who do you owe money to? That's like, do you get what I mean? That will ask that. But typically, if she wanted to loan money from me or anybody else, I don't typically ask what you need the money for.
Cool.
I think that's pretty much the way I'll do it as well, because I can't really see myself saying, wait, okay, what do you need the money for?
Especially if I've never known you
weird
to
for
ask
me.
for, and if I've never known you to ask for money for one, or even if you've asked, but like not that kind of amount, I have to make sure everything is okay. Like, is everything okay? Concerned.
Can I hold $1,000, please?
What do you think this is?
Excuse me?
You know, it's when you said it, because that's how I'm thinking. You know when everybody hates Chris? Like, oh, little man, let me hold it down. Okay, I don't speak in that lingo, so you have to be clear.
No, you have to.
What does
now
holding
you're saying,
mean?
what do you mean?
Yeah, what does holding mean?
Can I borrow some money, please?
Yeah, then if I had it, I'll be like, yeah, you go.
Can I borrow $1,000, please?
At the moment,
Yes, no.
no.
But can I hold $1,000, please?
At the moment.
No.
No.
All right, cool. We can move
may
on to the
not.
next question.
All right. So yeah, what would you guys keep the same?
Do you know what's so funny actually? Because when we're talking about the homelessness and stuff,
Yes.
but actually something I would change is people with chronic illnesses having to pay for their prescription. I can't believe for the life of me that I have to pay for inhalers. Like, it blows my mind every time. I didn't ask for a lung that doesn't function properly.
But
Anyway.
then you're asking other people to pay for your.
I don't care. I
inhaler.
pay for other people's shit.
That is
I'm paying for
true.
Ukraine at the moment, actually. I'm paying for Ukraine.
Yeah.
Them people that kick the black people off the buses. That's what I'm paying for. I'm paying for racism. That's what I'm currently paying for. So y'all can afford a few inhalers a few times a year.
To be fair, that could have been something that we would change immediately.
Or the Ukrainian stuff.
Or the Israel
Don't say
Gaza
we.
thing.
I don't know what you're saying.
That's true.
Before you tag me in.
Yeah.
What would I keep? I don't know what I would keep. What do I like about now? What would I keep the same?
It's a tough one. It is a tough one.
Because like, what is currently functioning so well in society that I'm like, oh, that's one to keep.
You know what?
I keep Kevin Badenoch out of office. That's what I keep the same. I keep her. Actually, no, to be fair, she's doing a lot where she is. I guess before she was before she was the head of what's it called? Committee, the party. I would have kept her where she was. But anyway, that is not valid. I don't know. I would keep the same.
In this country, maybe the underground and all that stuff, transport. Because as much as we complain about it, yeah,
It's
compared to the rest of the world, it's up there. I mean, they keep raising the damn prices, but
And it's easy to follow. To be fair,
yep.
it's relatively easy to follow. I haven't tried public transport in other countries, but I imagine the language would be a barrier for one. But what would you keep the same?
The ability for people to get free healthcare.
That is true. You could be talking about it here, but I guess because I pay for yeah.
Yeah, that should be included in it. If we're giving you other stuff.
That's what I'm
Why
saying.
not?
Other stuff I don't have.
Exactly.
What I have, what I need the medication for, I don't even benefit from.
True indeed.
I don't know.
Yep, the healthcare one's good.
Healthcare is good though.
The thing with the healthcare, though, no, you know what? That is good. That is good.
Yeah.
To be fair. All right. What war would you guys end?
The Gaza one. I put Netanyahu in prison.
You for what?
Isn't Netanyahu that
Yeah,
Netanyahu, whatever his name is? I'll put him in prison.
Okay.
He's done way too much evil. The evil done is enough. So that's the one. I think that's the one I'll end. What about wars are going on? Is it a war Sudan or is it just atrocities against Sudan?
As well. It's like a
Oh, is it?
internal civil, yeah.
Oh, I might do the black people.
Congo as well. There's a big war over there.
Okay, I might do Congo then. I don't know. It's just too many to pick from.
The war on white supremacy. That's one I would start, but we'll come back to that. But and you know what the thing is? I think on any normal, ordinary day, I would say the Congo one.
Yeah.
Because I really don't like
just hate everything about
Rwanda's
it.
involvement in alleged involvement. I wish those countries could just heal the rift, and it would just be such a powerhouse.
Rwanda are very busy. They're busybodies, aren't they? Because they were very involved when Peter Patel wanted to start shipping people.
Yeah,
They were very quick to volunteer themselves for things.
the guy's an economist too, and to be fair, he's made the country a
Opportunist.
beautiful place. It's a beautiful country, though.
I've heard, now I can't even go there. It's on the list. And it was on my list, to be fair. Brent is on great PR for that place. But fortunately, I can only hear tales.
But part of me is thinking I would maybe stop the Israel Gaza one, and it's obviously because of the atrocities in Palestine. But if I'm being honest with you, it's mainly because the other side, the Israel side, they need to be humbled a bit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would end that war and stop all affiliation with pushing their agenda.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Because I think that might have greater ramifications in the world.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, but my heart really would be to
Congo.
heal the rift in Congo.
Ben,
That's what I'll do.
what's yours? What war would you end?
Ooh, it's a little tussle between the war between black men and black women or the war on poverty. Because if it is we tackle the war on poverty, then we will stop a lot of wars
True.
around the world.
That is true.
So it's a
Toss up between them
yeah,
two.
yeah,
Mm.
100%.
So what war would you start?
Well, would I start
Mm-hmm.
against the billionaires?
Goddamn hater.
Do you think so?
They're the reason for all of this.
What?
Are they?
Fact. The war against the deep state. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know what deep state is. What is deep state? AI and stuff.
Wink, wink. Can't talk about it too much. Everything get locked off.
Fair.
What war would you stop? Oh, sorry, stat.
Where would I start?
No. I know what war you start.
I can't even say mine.
The same war that Farrakhan wanted to start.
What would he want to start?
What's that?
Hmm.
The minister would.
Why did you look into the sky like you're thinking like a TV character?
The whites, isn't it?
What?
Oh.
This is.
Am I gonna get pulled up? No.
No, but
By
you have
the
to be-
1%.
No, you have to be accurate though. The minister doesn't want no war with white people.
What was that guy's name that's part of your team? Solomon. What was his name again? Dominic. That's it.
Oh, big up Dominic. Big up Mr. Dominic.
If you get it wrong, Brent, he gonna come for you.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Shadow.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think for me, I'll start the war on the white supremacy. All the infrastructure that's there present in the world that makes it hard for black people
What
to
did I
thrive
just say?
in the world. What happened?
I just said that.
Yeah, wait, you just said
White
added the word
supremacy is not
supremacy.
whites.
You said whites. That's wild.
I don't know if it is Farrakhan looks to like differentiate.
Of course he does, man. He's not an evil
No, I'm not
warmonger.
saying all the whites. I don't think he differentiates when he says the white man is evil. I think I know what he's talking about when he says that.
Yeah.
Or am I reading that wrong, Emmanuel?
I'm trying to remember where he said the white man is evil.
Oh, so he's never said that.
I'm trying to.
The devil. Remember, I read you through some comments.
Yeah,
and
I
whatnot?
explained that to you.
No,
that
listen. I know you
can't
explained
be
it, but he
going-
said it.
context though. Brent.
But apply the context.
This is what I said the other day.
But he still said it.
All right, cool.
And in the context, it means not all whites, no?
Of course not.
All right. This is what I'm saying. Apply
right,
that
all
same
right,
thing
all right,
here.
cool, all right, cool.
God damn it.
I'm just saying, when you speak that way, people who don't know will start feeding into the narrative. This is the reason why the minister can't come to the country. You know what I'm saying? Because people believe the narrative that he's
Oh, he's banned.
anti-white. Yeah, since like the 80s, I believe.
Just from here or everywhere around the world.
No, from
In
here.
Canada.
I think, I'm not too sure actually, but the UK he can't come to.
I mean, Canada's so random.
But yeah, they were just hating because they know if he was to come here, it will change the trajectory of progression for black people in this country. I'm telling you.
How though?
Because I think people would hear the message live and direct.
Yeah, but wouldn't the people that need to attend that would attend though? People that already are part of the
No.
nation that attend.
No, because look at America. Like,
Because unless you had him on the show, I wouldn't attend.
no,
Do
but
you know what I'm
that's,
saying? Like, how would he get to the masses? Is what
I
I'm trying
think
to
the
say.
wave, people would understand who he is and be like, okay, who is this person that everyone's talking about?
Yeah.
Because imagine, like, look in America, yeah. The nation doesn't have 1 million people,
Yeah.
but he's the only person in history that's been able to gather more than 1 million black men together in one place. It's never happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, he made that call and everyone wanted to be involved.
It's a
and
great feat.
What I'm telling you.
He is.
You know what I'm saying? I think the numbers range between 1.5 million to 2 million black men coming together,
That's really
making
good,
a
man.
decision to be like, okay, cool, this is what we're going to do. This is our agenda. The money that we raised today, this is what we're going to use it for. This is what we're going to do. Gave the checks and balances for everything so that no one could say, oh, he squandered the money or this organization did this. You had other black men, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, all coming to him saying, you know what, Farrakhan? That before, there were people were saying, oh, it's a bad idea, you can't do it. He obviously is pulling it off. They now come to him and ask, oh, would you give me some time to speak to the people? He's like, yeah, of course. I respect you. This isn't about Islam. It's about black people. You know what I'm saying? So speak to the people, speak to the people, speak to the people. And yeah, it was amazing. So I say all that just to say, in this country,
Yeah.
I think you could do the same thing. And if black people turn up in the same way black people turn up to Black Lives Matter, why wouldn't you
They'll
turn up
show
for the
up, yeah.
minister? You know what I'm saying?
He needs to get them black men that go around marching in suits.
Each time it is that we talk about the nation, like clockwork, there are 2 down thumbs that come true.
Serious.
Yeah.
Why are you so hating so hard though?
Like clockwork.
yeah, but like,
The
okay.
devil is at work.
Damn. It's all right. It's all right
Haters.
to not like certain conversations that goes on within the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. thumbs down worthy.
That's
Take
what
it
they
back.
do. That's what they do, man.
What's the next question?
If you basically, where is that question? It was basically to do with before I come to that, one social media platform that you'd ban. What's the most
Trump's
toxic?
one.
Serious? Huh?
Trump social.
Yeah.
Truth Social. Serious? Have you not been on it before?
No.
How
But
do you know it's that bad?
every time he posts something on there, it's
gets
in the main
reposted.
news. Yeah, I don't want to hear from you no more. I'm gonna say I'm so sick of Trump. And the maddest thing is, he hasn't even done 6 months in there yet. We've only just entered the 3rd month actually, and I can't anymore. I can't with conversations about Trump. We're entering the 2nd. He's been there a month and a half because it was in the 20th of January. I'm sick of hearing about Trump. I'm sick of it. So anywhere where I can take his voice away, I would do that, and I'll ban him from making further ones. Sick of Trump.
Okay. What's the first secret government file?
Sorry, what? Which one would you ban, right?
Oh man, I might sound like a hater now. Facebook, you know.
Why?
I feel like
What's
it's
Facebook gonna do
dated.
to you?
I feel like it's dated.
For
and,
you,
and the aunties and uncles use it too
Facebook
much.
goes off. I don't log into it. Every time I log in, someone else having a baby, but Facebook goes off for people that are still on there, you know. They like a lot of drama happens on there.
Serious?
Some black guy got killed the other day. I don't know if you guys saw it last week. Got killed by his white girlfriend.
Yes. In America.
Yeah. And turns out that he loved white women, but constantly cussed black women. Said he'd rather be dead than be with a black woman.
Serious?
And people said, well, rest in preference. It's crazy.
That is diabolical work.
Bars.
Got like eight
Bars.
no crumbs. Rest in preference?
Do they? Sorry, let me follow them. Who was that?
I can't remember.
Give
I
them a
can't
follow.
remember. But I swear I said, well, you ate with that.
That's
And
crazy.
that was all they said. Rest in preference. But it was going off on Facebook with his family and whatnot. I didn't get to log, because I think that's the thing with Facebook. When you use the link, you have to then log on, and I can't bother to start thinking what my password was. But anyway, Facebook has a lot of drama, a lot of tea on there. You just gotta know. If you like mess, I feel like Facebook is the TikTok. Basically, people be doing crazy things over there. But yeah, rest in preference. I mean, I thought it was horrible. Obviously, things were saying about black women, but I don't think they should lose his life. Damn, but like harsh. But they said rest in preference. And those tweets were diabolical. They were so bad,
That's not nice.
so bad.
That's not
Like,
nice.
I think he said one of them was like he's talking about who treats dog better than he would a black woman. That was crazy stuff.
That's what he was saying.
Died. Well, so
Boy.
R.I.P.
Apparently, he said he'd rather sleep with a dog, and even
Thank
then,
you.
the dog has to be a white dog.
That's what it was. Yeah,
Right.
about the dog and the black woman. Yeah.
Bestiality and that.
That's pure hatred.
It's hatred.
Who has that in their spirit like that? Come
Now his
on.
white girlfriend killed him. But that's the thing, because I was like, I don't want too much about his hate for black women yet, because I don't want prosecution to try and use that as he was violent, he was this or whatever. Actually, to be fair, though, it doesn't show that. It shows that he loved his white woman a lot. But basically, I just don't want the girl to go scot-free for what she did.
No chance.
I think that's how I would. You can't be going around killing
100%.
people. But yeah, man, he was horrible. He was horrible. But you know, he's answered to the Lord about those tweets now. So
What one conspiracy theory would you confirm or debunk for the public? Which kind of ties into the whole, what's the
Diana.
first secret government file you open?
Diana, I really feel like if I came out with what I think might be in those files, the monarchy will be no more. Allegedly, hypothetically, just contenting. So everybody calm down. Government in that. I would want to know about Diana. I just think there's so much there's just so much conspiracy in that family, and I feel like Harry and Meghan just really brought it to surface. But then also is the fact that when The Crown was going to do season, was it 5, I think, and it was going to be about Diana, they sent them a cease and desist. So I just want to know, like, what are y'all protecting so much? So that is what I would want to do.
Okay.
That's my conspiracy.
Brent?
Easy.
Aliens.
Nope.
Oh.
Free clean energy.
What?
Free
You're watching a
clean
lot of YouTube
energy.
recently.
I've already clocked it.
That's what you thinking?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, 0 point energy.
So you think it's available?
Yep.
Serious.
Yep.
And we're just not getting it.
Yep.
Do you think anybody's getting it?
Yes.
The powers that be? The billionaires?
Deep state, baby.
I don't know what deep state is again.
The military complex, baby.
Right.
They're using it right now.
They're using it.
100%. 0 point energy.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
0 point NG.
Energy.
Energy. Fair.
Mm.
What would yours be?
I think it would be the aliens, you know.
Mm.
It would either be the aliens or some religious thing. The Vatican. I would want to know what really is in the text in those libraries that no one can see.
What religion is that?
Catholicism. But you know they've got like information on basically every religion. To be fair.
Really?
Yeah, because everything's kind of linked. The Abrahamic faiths, anyway.
This world, yeah, when it ends, it's gonna be so dramatic. It's gonna be a mess.
But I feel like sorry, go on.
No, go on. You go on.
No, I was just gonna say I feel like if I had to choose one, to be fair, if there was stuff on aliens and you could see the aliens, it was really information about aliens, real bodies aliens, then I think I'll choose the aliens because I feel like that may answer my religious questions.
That's what they're hiding anyway.
You know what I mean? Like,
What do you mean it may answer your religious questions?
So I feel like if you wanted to know certain truths, yeah, in religious circles, yeah, that's hidden. I feel like the only thing you're really gonna find out is that what you believe isn't what you believe, or it confirms it. So if it confirms it, cool. But if it doesn't confirm it, then it's like, wow, this is a lie. But if I saw aliens and stuff, I feel like that also confirms that it's a lie. Plus, I've got interactions with aliens.
What?
So what I'm saying is, yeah, if I was to find out about the religious thing, right, in the Vatican, yeah, and I found out maybe that certain things weren't true, let's just say, because basically what I'm trying to simplify it and basically say I either find out stuff isn't true or it confirms what I believe
so
already.
Start
yeah?
with the Vatican stuff.
Yes.
Right? So what is it that you are saying if you find it? What are they keeping?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
what do
I
you
want to
think
know
they're
what's in
keeping?
there.
Oh.
But I feel like whatever it is in there will either boost the world's religiosity, right?
Yeah.
Or it would destroy it. And I feel like if it boosts the world's thing, then okay, it is what it is. And I don't think anyone cares as much because we've got religion already. If it was to destroy it, then wow, it destroys it. But by me knowing about aliens, I feel like knowing aliens will destroy it anyway. So I'd rather just know the aliens thing and just know more about aliens.
Knowing about the aliens, as in their existence.
Their existence.
It would destroy religious.
Yeah, I think so.
Why did I say it like that? Religious.
It would make everyone's faith shake, I think.
Why?
Because no one really has made space for that in any of their texts.
Made space.
No, they
I've
haven't.
been talking about
Yeah,
this.
you said that, but I personally don't feel like there's space for it. No, let me not say that. Let me not say that. I don't personally think there's anything clear that would make everyone who believes, whatever faith they believe, feel like, oh, this makes no difference. I don't think that's the case.
Well, this is sad. Well, I'm not going to dive into this now.
Yeah.
We will do it.
On a Wednesday.
Yeah, on a Wednesday. But there is
I
a...
actually want to get into this. Can you do
There's
like
a
another
direct
day?
link. There's a
And
direct
then I'm
link.
here.
There's a straight direct link, and that's why I was saying the church is, on a whole, is not preparing their flock properly as it pertains to these alien sightings and all this information that's coming out. They're not preparing them properly, but there are churches that are.
But when the churches that are preparing their flock, we should have a full blown thing on this, where obviously Esther's there as well, where we talk about, because what does that look like?
And also, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, any of the Muslims in the chat who are kind of deep in that whole spiritual realm type thing with regards or with relation to their faith, they would also say, no, I'm not fussed about this whole alien stuff because my book, it accounts for it too.
Nah.
And bear in mind, I'm only saying that because I've seen certain videos of these particular imams talking about it. You understand?
That's all. This is to me again. Maybe I'm just talking flippantly here, but I think this is all fringe group people. So people who feel like it's imminent that we may hear something, and they want to keep people believing certain things. I don't think there's anything tangible that makes people think this.
Well, I don't know what you're saying.
So, for example, even with maybe it's best for
no, wait, stop. Have you watched any of the lectures, sermons I'm talking about?
I don't know
Are
what
you-
you've seen.
I know you don't, but have you watched anything, whether it's in Christianity, whether it's in Islam? Have you watched anything pertaining to this?
Maybe years ago in Christianity.
Yes.
Yeah, years ago.
Look,
Just people who try to make room for things that are not clear in the Bible. So it could be extraterrestrials, it could be dinosaurs.
I don't want you to basically focus on the things I'm not talking about.
Yeah.
Just focus on the aliens. Don't tell me
Yeah.
about dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. But it's,
So
it's
years
still-
ago, you were looking at videos where they were explaining aliens?
No, but I wasn't looking for these videos.
And I'm not
innit?
looking at. I said, did you watch anything?
Yeah, I've seen like a video. Yeah, I've seen a video. I've
All right.
probably
Well,
even seen something on
I'm
God Channel
very
as well.
well versed on this because I've gone down this particular rabbit hole, right? And I've been doing that for the last 2 years. And again, I brought Stephen in. Stephen's there. He's there. So when
Listen,
you're,
we
when
actually
you're
bring
speaking,
Stephen on
I
New
need
Black,
you to
know all
be
of that.
speaking from experience as opposed to just you
No,
putting
of course.
your finger to your tongue, going huh, and just doing that to the wind.
I
right?
hear you.
Because when you speak, people just assume everything you say is fact.
No, but they shouldn't do. I'm a human being. But at the same time, when we have that topic of the day and you bring all this information, it will be a good day.
It's
that
so
we can talk
weird
about it.
because I've been talking about this.
I know, and I've heard
I'm
it
not
all. This
fussed
is
about
why I'm not.
aliens at
This is
all.
why I don't buy it.
And
what I'm
that's
saying
why I
to you.
keep asking you, when it comes to African spirituality and demons and whatnot, do you believe in that?
What do you mean by believe in? Do I believe it to be true?
Yes.
Yeah.
And why do you
let me tell
believe
you.
that these particular spiritual beings, right,
Mm-hmm.
of a different dimension,
Yeah.
are real, but it's hard for you to
I'll
conceptualize?
tell you. So the reason why I have issue with this is because aliens are physical. This is basically what it boils down to. At least from my understanding. If an alien is coming to Earth, it's come from another galaxy. It's come from another planet.
No. Have you seen
Okay, cool.
an octopus?
Yes.
Have you seen other creatures in the sea that you're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, pretty much.
All
Sure
right,
I have, yeah.
right? Those are aliens, right?
Why are they
Foreign.
aliens?
They're foreign. They're weird to look at. Yes, they're physical. No,
No. You can't do that. You can't just say they're aliens.
what I want to do is to remove the word alien from this because these beings that are physical, you're saying, bear in mind they also use some of them, telekinesis to communicate, right? So it's not the way we communicate, right? The different forms of communication via these physical beings,
Yeah.
right? And I'm also sure that you've heard that some of them live in the surface, not surface, in the heart of mountains and whatnot, and underground, right?
Okay.
Some of these civilizations, like the Mexican and the Incas and whatnot, they talk about these underground ant people, right? Now, this is not from out in the universe.
Yeah, but
this is
yeah.
in the heart of this particular earth that we
So
live
let me
in.
ask you a question before you go in here. So do you believe there are people who live like the Incas, like you just said as an example, underground in the heart of mountains?
Do I believe that Incas live in the heart of the mountains?
Yeah.
Incas?
People like, because you mentioned the Incas
It's only because it's in their particular
in that region
law.
of the world.
It's in their law. It's in their myths and legends and whatnot.
Okay, cool. So the stuff they're talking about in their mission legends about people living in the heart of mountains, and I'm assuming I don't
And
know what words-
underground.
and underground.
Yes.
You believe that to be true?
I don't know if it is I do. I'm just telling you what it is that they've
What they believe.
they've depicted. Yeah. I don't know if it is I do.
All right, cool. And secondly, why is it that you're saying aliens? Do you see aliens the same as extraterrestrials?
Ask the question again.
Do you see aliens, whatever you consider an alien, to be the same as whatever you consider extraterrestrial to be?
Yes or no. Depends on who I'm talking to. If they just use alien as foreign, because right now UFOs changed to UAP.
Yeah.
Right. So if that is in that sense, cool. I could entertain alien just being a foreign entity.
So, but in your definition, aliens could be. This could be their home. Earth could be their home.
They could be living here. one particular species could be living here. Yes,
Okay, cool. See, that's not alien to me. That's somebody.
and that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, I could entertain both.
Yeah,
Doesn't-
but that particular thing that's not a okay. Since you're saying you can entertain both, get that out of there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Cool.
saying. Extraterrestrial, outside of this particular
Yes.
planet, different planets, living on different planets.
Yes.
Ask the question.
So do you believe do you believe they're physical beings like you and me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you believe the Bible makes mention of these people, or there's some?
Yeah, but you understand how you in the beginning you talked about physical beings, and that's why it is that you believe in something and you're skeptical about something else. I believe in the Bible, right?
Yeah, of course.
In the Bible, angels appeared to man in a physical form.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, and some sort of entity that lives in the spiritual realm can manifest in a physical realm and engage or interact with human beings. So, when you suggest that for you it's the physical element that it's spinning you, that's not spinning me.
Okay, cool. Fair enough.
And if I
think-
believe in the Bible and it says the devil can appear as whatever it wants to appear, because remember, it's in most cases it's the mind that is messed with, right? We eat mushrooms and whatnot, and we're seeing things, right? And nobody could tell us they didn't exist at all, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
People
Could you
just say
see
it,
an
but
experience?
you yourself, you can't tell me this, Alex. Cool. So why is it a stretch for me to believe that an immaterial thing can become material? And when you deep it, isn't it just physics anyway? Isn't
How?
it just physics?
How
You all
is it
keep
just
telling me about this. Is it Schrodinger's cat?
What about Schrödinger's cat?
Something is there and it's not there. If it is that you don't see, it doesn't exist or something like that, is that how Schrodinger's cat works?
I think so.
Something- yeah,
something like that.
Something like, yeah.
I know from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. So I think all of this is just information we don't have yet. We don't have the reasonable explanation just yet. We don't have words just yet. Do you understand?
I think I hear what you're saying. And maybe this is definitely a topic for another day. But in my head, I'm hearing somebody who believes in something trying to find a way for it to fit. So what I'm hearing is, for example, these aliens don't come from another galaxy. They come from another spiritual dimension, and they manifest physically, and that's how they interact with us. I guess I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that possibility. I'm talking about a physical being like us that is indigenous to another planet. They have a home and civilization in Andromeda or some next place that's 1 million light years away. And they have built a spacecraft and they come and land on Earth. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a spiritual being, demon, the devil did this and shapeshift and became an X-Man and became a physical being. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about indigenous to another planet. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So there's a real physical spacecraft.
Let me drop
Cool.
just before we continue, because I don't want this to be this. We've just completely just diverted from the president stuff. We could talk about a different day so that people could choose to basically entertain what we're talking about. Cool.
Yes.
The Bible is one aspect, one story, but it's not the whole story, right?
Okay.
And again, because I believe the Bible, in the very beginning, there were entities before human beings. This is what I believe, because I believe the Bible. That's my particular framework.
Just to specify, physical entities or what? What do you mean? Just so I'm clear.
I don't know what that means specifically. My idea of anything physical is only based on my understanding of life before there was physical. Physical is only something that has been constructed by man. As in words. Some people believe that this is all a matrix and this is all programming. We are all programming.
Okay.
Do you understand? So when you say physical, I know this is, you mean this,
Yes.
right? So in this sense, yes, cool. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't life if there wasn't this.
Okay, fine.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
and it doesn't mean that the limitations of this,
they had to.
precisely.
Yeah, of course.
Do you understand? I do believe that there are certain entities that can jump in between both states. Do you understand? Because if I believe that right now I can create fire from now rubbing two things together. The fire always, the possibility of creating fire always existed. It was just the knowledge of me doing that to then create the fire.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Cool. So, because I believe the Bible, I believe that before humankind was made, there were entities.
Okay.
And those entities could have been in all these different forms. And they could have been a myriad of different entities. Only because I'm basing it on what is in the Bible. Do you understand the different types of quote-unquote angels? Different types of entities that have different functions. Do you understand? So if I believe that, why is it a stretch for me to believe that on different flipping planets? Because there's so many different planets, Emmanuel. So many different places to inhabit. Why am I going to have it be a stretch that these things existed before? And what, did they just stop existing?
Okay, to wrap up, because obviously because of time and to get back to what we were talking about, would you consider us human beings as before we were physical, we were existed as entities also?
As in our consciousness?
I don't know. Whatever you're giving those people, those aliens, right?
No, it's not aliens.
I'm just calling it aliens.
Don't do that, because I've introduced a language I want you to use for this conversation that we're having.
Cool.
From the Bible, before man, there were quote-unquote angels. Before man. And those angels have different forms.
Yes.
Right? So when I say entities, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so what
don't
you're
mention
saying-
aliens.
Okay, beautiful. So what you're saying to me is, if an alien came in a spacecraft today, it existed before as an angel.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying that there are many different things that we don't know about.
Cool.
Many different things. So one could be that. One could also be a mixture between human being and angel. Right? Because there was the mixture of human DNA with angel DNA in the Bible, and it created those giants. Right? I believe that. And I believe that they also mixed animal DNA with angel DNA, animal DNA with human DNA. Again, it's in the Bible. I believe that. And some of these civilizations show, they depict in their cave paintings that from the heavens came these particular beings, and they were taken away in those particular craft. That could be taken away to another flipping planet. And they now returned. Do you understand? So there are many different possibilities. It's not just one.
All right, cool. All right. Well, on that day, we'll revisit this.
Yeah, I really want to hear where you're coming from, because people don't be hearing me, and people don't really put me in a category of compromised, because I've said it. Compromised, did it. But it's because I've watched a lot of stuff, I've read a lot of stuff pertaining to this particular thing, because I can't just see all these things that are happening with these abductions, these cattle mutilations, these circles and signs that just scorch into the earth, and think all of this is just fantasy. Do you understand? So I needed to be able to reconcile it with my faith, because I can't just be sitting here as curious as I am and not question that too.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I always look to test what it is I believe.
But this is precisely why I said, if aliens existed, it would make everyone do exactly that. But I think, for the most part, people's faith would be rattled.
I could care less about people's faith, because I was talking to you at the time, and you said that your faith would be rattled.
Did I?
Yeah, you said that if aliens exist, then 100% religiosity is bollocks.
It doesn't mean that I believe, because my belief is not as strict as anyone's categories of a particular religion.
All right, cool. We'll get into it when it is that we give people enough heads up that that's what we're doing, so that they will stay away.
You know, so funny. I actually read this. Remember that time we were talking about when Jesus healed that blind man, and then he was seeing people that look like trees and stuff. I actually read that
trees. Did you?
I read that this morning actually,
And
it reminded me of you.
beautiful, beautiful.
And then because I use the commentary when I read the Bible and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's so interesting that like the commentaries didn't have the conversation that we spoke
Yes.
of. It was more to do with, because just before he had told the disciples how they see, like they're not seeing the spiritual meanings behind the things that he's saying, like the parable he's saying, and all that kind of stuff. So the commentaries are basically linking it to that, in that, like, basically we're not at that point. It's basically just what the disciples are going through, where they're not seeing things in the spiritual way, the way they should be, and all of that. It's interesting. But literally, I was like, oh, I'm afraid.
And you know, in Islam, you have like jinn as well, right? These particular elemental creatures and whatnot. But anyway, let's was it next two questions?
Yes. Okay. Based on that, yeah. If there was aliens that came, since you're the president, what would be your first move?
Find me a fine. I'm joking. I've got to investigate why they're here. If it's that they've come, we've got to sit down and have a word and have a conversation about why is it. I guess it's just really, my first thing will always be to investigate why they're here.
Yeah.
What they're here to do. Is it harm or a nice friendly visit? And then how we can work together. Bring our nations together.
All right. Brent, what would you do?
If aliens come,
Yep.
But you're the leader. You're not just Brent. You're the leader.
what I do?
What's your first move? Yeah. What are you thinking? What
I'll
you
meet
doing?
with them and talk with them.
What would be your agenda?
My agenda would be to bind them in the name of Jesus Christ.
I said bind them. They know where you live, bro.
I'm
Number
prayed
10.
up, bro.
So you don't want aliens to come.
They're already here, man. What?
Do you reckon you'd bucked a few aliens?
Yeah. They've been here. Even in the Bible, they talk about those chariots and whatnot.
Oh my
What do you
God.
think that was? They've been here. God
You know
damn
the
it.
funniest part of all of that, I can't believe you got Stephen on board.
Isn't it? Oh man, they've got,
And
got
you
you,
see,
Brent.
don't you feel as though Stephen is a logical thinker?
He is.
From what you've...
But I haven't spoken to Stephen in months now, so I got to see what the upgraded
Stephen
is like.
Big on quantum physics. Do you understand? Massive.
Yeah.
That is an area in which it baffles him, but it intrigues him so much, right?
Yeah.
So he's gone down that. When it is that you look at the is it microscopic or is it macroscopic? How when is it go
When
deeper
it's tiny,
into
it's
things?
micro. No?
Microscopic.
Yeah.
In just little things that I don't know, a grain of sand or
Yeah.
a flower, and you see the detail that's there.
It blows my mind, you
It's
know.
impossible for you to believe there is just this.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So, no, it was easy to get him there. It was harder to get him to basically line it up with the
Christianity.
Bible, because
Yeah.
that's the thing that. Obviously, he's been in almost for a while. So whilst I was there doing my deep research, obviously I'm not sharing this with him. But when he's coming to tell me about, Brent, have you seen such and such? I'm like,
Welcome.
all right then. And now he's like, everything, like it's making even more sense. Obviously, it's making his faith stronger. Because of
Yeah.
it. Because there are explanations to all these things that previously didn't have answers to, and that's for me is the most important thing for me.
There needs to be a starter pack for this thing. Like, as do you know, I want to research it. I want to know what it is that I want to learn these things that you see. But there should be a starter pack.
It's so weird sometimes when you say things like that, because I'm thinking I don't think I've said anything weird, and I know how it can be perceived, right?
Yeah.
But I think the quicker something happens that nobody can explain
Yeah.
is when everybody, like myself, I'm not talking about everybody because there are some people that are very, very weird out there in this realm. In this realm, that's
That's so
I'm
funny.
basically
Someone's
just dipping
listening
my toe
thinking,
in. I might be 100%. It's different level.
I don't. But, yeah.
But when you see something now,
Yeah.
then that's when it is you're like, okay, what next? And I'll be there. I'll be there.
I'll be there. But that's the thing there. I don't think I'll see it. I'm really that. You know when you watch a movie and something's crazy happening behind someone, they're just la-di-da-di-da.
Whistling, yeah?
That's why that's me. Just took myself. I might have a fruit. I don't know. I think I pink lady apple. Maybe not. That would be me. So that's why like it's not a weird thing. I don't think it's weird, but I think every time you say it, it intrigues me because there's so much more about this world than meets the eye, which I know anyway. As the more I read the Bible, especially going through like the Old Testament, like I just realized that is this all so complex. Life in itself is just there's so much more than just living and making families and working, and that is so much more different. So when you say these things, that's what it just I'm very intrigued by it all. But hopefully I don't miss the science, child.
No, it would be impossible. It would be impossible. Just imagine speaking to somebody who has done ayahuasca, right, or had one of them type of drugs
Yeah.
where you've felt your spirit interact with other entities
Yeah.
in a different dimension, and they've come back to try to explain to you this, that, and X, and 100% you might be thinking they're absolutely wild. Like, what are you talking about? But to them, I guarantee you, you are not convincing them that there isn't something else that's in that particular spiritual dimension
Yeah.
that they basically parlayed with. Impossible.
Yeah.
Because I listened to Sterling K. Brown and his wife's podcast one time, and it was one day when they did ayahuasca. But I was so intrigued because they said that they're Christians and stuff. So I was just like, oh, I wonder what that experience was like. I can't remember. That was a while ago, last year. I haven't listened to the podcast since, so I guess that says things. But I remember they did do it, and I think his wife was talking about having an encounter or something like that, blah blah blah. It's very interesting at the time.
All right. Last question. What would
Yeah.
you do to make you be remembered? Yeah. What's that last?
What would you do something to do with healthcare or homelessness, and I create something that lasts beyond my time in office. So like years to come, they're still doing that same thing. Like the person that abolished slavery, right?
Yeah.
They're not here anymore, but it's in place so that generations up. Well, hopefully, child. I don't know what Trump might do, but generations after, it's still being a law. So it'll be something like that.
Okay. Brent, what about you?
You answer first. The question again was, what would I do
What would you
to be
do
remembered?
to make sure people remember your leadership, remember your time in office? I think I would basically just forgive all loans to Africa. Keep it simple.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good one. You'd be a hero, boy.
I think I would free up the vaults. I'd open up all the vaults, all of it. I think that's the truest form of power I can give to the people, and that would have a lasting effect throughout the ages, I believe.
It's giving you leaving office and you burn everything down.
Leave the kid.
And then, like when the leaves walking and then you just see all the fire behind them. That's exactly what that is.
That's true. Burn it all down.
They won't let you leave that building.
Burn down Babylon.
Well,
All right. I guess we can wrap it up there.
all right, let's get into more headlines.
All right. Hold up. This young man. Can we get a conspiracy show maybe behind the paywall or something? The thing is, y'all are gonna get so much good stuff very soon, and why not? And what I would do is get a whole set of people to come in, because I'm not an expert on any of this stuff, but each of these particular theories would have certain experts, and yes, it would also have certain cooks, but I think just that conversation would be entertainment. If it's not seen as information, as in education information, as in fact, truth, it will be seen as entertainment, right?
Yeah, and it definitely will have to be behind the paywall because they'll put every episode down. Every episode taken down. But then also that
That's
thing
not true.
I
All
think
the things
so.
I've seen, it's online.
That's true, actually, to be fair. That's true.
And I haven't paid for one of those Gaia subscriptions.
That's true, actually.
Because I even think the Gaia one is a bit too... It's all the music and stuff, and then I don't trust them.
The only Gaia I know is Kai Collective's Gaia.
Is it?
Yeah, man. It's a print pattern she made.
Fair.
It's lit. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go on to the next headlines. I'm surprised Emmanuel didn't make polygyny legal.
We don't need a law for that.
You can't do that. Not with me around. Not with me as an alive citizen of the land.
All right, people. So China has warned the US that it is ready to fight any type of war.
Do you know, I was saying to someone yesterday, Trump's going to start a war. And I just hope they're not calling people up from this side of town But also, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be a nurse on the ward treating people's blown up legs and stuff.
Nope.
The sight of blood scares me. But I do believe, I thought, I do. What was it that made me say that though? It's something he did yesterday. But I do believe Trump's going to start war.
Think so?
I believe that.
I think you're selling yourself short, Esther. I do believe I can see you in a nurse's uniform. If it hits the fan, I can see you saying, you're leading the other. No, put that over there. Oh, do I gotta do it? That's not clean.
To be fair, I can see that too, actually. Put it that way.
But yes, they've warned, man. They warned the US. They said that they're ready to fight any type of war after hitting back against President Donald Trump's mounting trade tariffs. The world's top 2 economies have edged closer to a trade war after Trump slapped more tariffs on all Chinese goods. China quickly retaliated, imposing 10 to 15% tariffs on US farm products. So China's embassy said on X, if war is what the US wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight to the end. That's insane.
Wait.
That is insane.
So what they said is insane.
That's
but
insane.
Nothing else that Trump is saying is insane.
What's he done to this degree?
It's crazy how you say that. He shared a video where
No,
he
I'm
basically-
talking about to China, for example.
Oh,
I'm
it's
talking
just
about-
China. You only cared about China at this point.
No, because China's making this directly to the US. And all Trump has done is said, okay, cool, I'm putting some tariffs. I'm imposing some tariffs on the goods. And you're talking about any type of war? We're going to fight to the end? What are we doing
You
there?
see how you're now reading into that to mean physical, right?
What?
But you see how
It's
you're
clear.
able to basically parse somebody's dialogue, but
Yes.
not Trump's. You can't see the implications that Trump is basically saying and not saying.
It's nothing
But you
to do
can
with
see
that.
the Chinese.
It's nothing to do with
Fair,
that.
fair.
This is ridiculous.
Cognitive dissonance, man.
This is ridiculous. Trump, I'm talking about the possibility of certain things as well. It's different with China. Anyway,
And why don't? So wait. So you believe that China could do this?
I don't think they're going to do anything.
All right. So why
But-
don't you say, them are just negotiation words, man?
No, because remember, there's no war. Trump hasn't done anything physical. But China's saying to them, if you do something physical, we're ready to fight. But I'm thinking there's no need to even mention it though. Why? Why are we doing this? It's just taxes money.
That
It's
is so
taxes.
interesting. And yes, Samuel, let me just put this comment up. You're right, 120% right. Hold up, let me just put it up.
I know that name's Samuel.
Yeah,
It's like a
wait.
promised name.
Yeah,
Brent has... Well, never mind.
yes, I do.
Forget what I've said about the name.
I've
Brent has...
literally said I don't like that man.
Brent has serious Trump derangement syndrome.
120%.
What does that mean?
I go cuckoo for Trump.
But you strongly dislike him.
Yeah. When I say cuckoo for Trump, anything that I say is negative. I don't mean in a manner in which people would have heard or understood me saying it. If I'm not giving clarity.
Oh, then hey, twin.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't like the man.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember why I said he was going to start war because of the whole tariff thing with Canada. And them saying they're going to respond with tariff. And then he said they respond with tariff, he's going to respond. Sorry, stop. That's why I said that.
So yes, I'm trying to read some of these comments. Okay, Brent, you can put them up on the screen. But yeah, basically, yeah, this is what China said. It's some of the strongest rhetoric so far from China since Trump became president and comes as leaders gathered in Beijing for the annual National People's Congress. Leaders in Beijing are trying to send a message to people in China that they are confident the country's economy can grow even with the threat of a trade war. China has been keen to portray an image of being stable, peaceful, in contrast to the US, which Beijing accuses of being embroiled in wars in the Middle East and Ukraine. But Trump is trying to stop that. Okay. Anyway, next headline. The Justice Secretary has called for the scrapping of planned changes which would make the background of offenders from minority groups a bigger factor when deciding whether to jail them. So Shabana Mahmood called for the Sentencing Council to reverse course after Conservatives accused Labour of overseeing two-tier justice, in which prison sentences are less likely for ethnic or faith minorities. On Wednesday, the council, which is independent but sponsored by the Ministry of Justice, published new guidelines for judges aimed at avoiding bias and cutting reoffending. But Mahmoud said she would write to its leaders to register my displeasure and to recommend reversing the change. She also said, As someone who is from an ethnic minority background myself, I do not stand for any differential treatment before the law for anyone of any kind. There will never be a two-tier sentencing approach under my watch. And last headline, trigger warning in this one, guys. A 16-year-old boy who died after being shot in South London has been named by the Met Police as Nathaniel Burrell. An eyewitness to the killing in Stockwell told the BBC that a teenager was shot dead by a man dressed as a food delivery driver on a moped. Nathaniel, who locals have said was a very bright school pupil, died on Paradise Road near Stockwell Tube Station at about 2:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday. The Met Police has called it an enormously shocking incident. The eyewitness said 2 boys came down the stairs at a block of flats when the moped rider took out a gun and fired, adding that the teenager who died was well known in the area and was involved in gangs. Police said inquiries were still ongoing, no arrests have been made, and detectives are keeping an open mind about a possible motive for the attack. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills.
All right, let's get into what I wrote. What is happening? Oh, sad news, man. Sad news. Dolly Parton's husband passed away. His name was Carl Dean, and he was 82. And so she posted on socials saying, Carl Dean, husband of Dolly Parton, passed away March 3rd in Nashville at the age of 82. He will be laid to rest in a private ceremony with immediate family attending. He was survived by his siblings Sandra and Donnie. And then Dolly says, Carl and I spent many wonderful years together. Words can't do justice to the love we shared for over 60 years. Thank you for your prayers and sympathy. The family has asked for privacy during this difficult time. That's so horrible, you know. I hate when people lose their partner, like long time partners like that at that age. It's just so sweet. It's so sad. But anyway, love and light to Dolly Parton. You know, people don't know she's a Christian woman. Like she loves and serves the Lord. My mum went to a concert and she really talks about God and loves Jesus and everything. Like, see her in heaven, child. Next, the streets are speculating that Tiana Taylor and Aaron Pierre are together. They're in a relationship. So I think a month ago they were spotted. Where was it? Somewhere. What was it? I can't remember where it was. But they were basically spotted together a month ago on a table, to be fair. It was an award show of sorts. And then, yeah. And then the Oscars. So the Oscars was the other day. And she posted a picture on her Instagram of both of them. They look so good. Hold on, let me show you. How good do they look? Okay, we're not going to zoom in? Okay, then zoom then. You can't really see it. It's like a James Bond type of vibe. It's cute. And then she said, Oscar night in black and white, no grey area. Okay, girl. Thespian. Bars. I know, right? And then he posted it as well. He thinks he's so mysterious. He posted it with no caption. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, it is a bit mysterious. When you go on it, you see the comment, but then you think the comment is his caption. No, it's not.
To what's
You
understood doesn't need to be communicated, baby.
Okay. He said that. So anyway, yeah, people are speculating that they're together and whatnot. Someone said, someone said they're an interesting looking couple because they've both got feline
features.
What were we gonna say? Here we go. Brent, pull back his chair.
Question.
Yes.
Are you going to parade your love to the world on socials?
Never are weird. If you know, you know.
At any stage in your relationship, after marriage, courting, are you going to basically, because you're going to be attending award ceremonies?
Yeah, but my man's not. He's not a thingy. He's not like a social media person like that. We're here now. Don't do the most. He's not a social media person anyway. But I don't think it would be that deep. I find that very weird, you know, that this is like where we are in society today. Where like the whole like showing your partner and stuff, like it's interesting. But I don't show people on social media who aren't public like that. Like on socials, the only siblings I would ever post are the siblings that have social media and post and like don't have private pages. I don't post my mum. I don't post my niece or my nephew. Yeah, and I would definitely not post my kids. I think it's wild that I know what some of your kids look like coming out the womb, child, and they haven't fully cooked yet. I think it's so wild. But do you get me? Like, so, yeah, I'm not really a social person like that anyway. I have a close friends, but I'm the most boring person. Like, I don't do nothing on there. Like, I'm not really into posting like that, to be fair. Yeah.
Reason why I asked that question is because you show me that image, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, so when I have a missus, girlfriend, wife, whatever you want to call it.
I was talking about Word and Road.
Huh?
I was talking about her Word and Road.
No. I'm there thinking I would want to be kind of different when taking pictures and whatnot, right?
Different how?
Like how we drop the no caption stuff. That's
Yeah,
different.
that's calm.
Yeah. And obviously, I'm not in front of the camera like that. So even getting a picture of me is weird in the first place. So why would I just stand like a picture? You know, do something.
I get you,
do
but
something different.
You're gonna have to get over that, boy.
It's something strange for a little change, innit? No,
Strange
I have
for a
no
change.
problem.
Yeah.
Taking pictures.
Yeah.
I'm not camera shy in that sense. It's a choice. But I think I want to spice up, spruce up, the interactions.
The images.
Obviously, if she's the type to say, "Nah, don't do too much," I'm like, then why?
But what's doing too much,
with
Brent?
me? Why are you with me?
Take me there. I know you have examples. Go on.
What, doing too much?
Yeah, like what's your example?
It's only because people just assume that I'm wild and wonderful outside of the unhinged. I won't even use a particular word because somebody left a comment on the video yesterday saying, I love how unhinged Brent is. I didn't know how to take that, but I just said thanks.
Yeah, you gotta take that.
In my mind, I just said thanks.
You gotta take that. You gotta say
I don't know if it was meant for
yeah,
harm
it's one of those ones
or,
where
or ill, but I wear it as a jacket of
Yeah, it depends what day you receive the comment. You like, do you know what I mean? Like how you're feeling that day. Certain comments, it's just about how and when it lands.
Yeah. I don't mind that comment.
Yeah.
Because if it was meant for negativity,
Yeah.
it just means that he or she doesn't understand my wonderful.
Yeah. I get you.
And I don't need everybody to understand my wonderful. I just need one person to understand my wonderful.
Amen. Wouldn't he do it?
And then that person, why wouldn't I take pictures with them?
But I feel like, I think that's the thing I find so interesting because really and truly showing, like having a picture of your partner up on your Instagram is not a big deal. But I think people have made it a big deal because people are very nosy. And I think I think the reason why I wouldn't post my partner is just because of other people's weirdness. Like now you want to follow him. Now you want like stuff like that. It's just weird. It's just weird. But
some
yeah.
people say the quicker I let the world know that this one is with me,
Yeah.
if you see him anywhere else and he's not with me doing things, then some of you strange people might come and inform me.
Yeah, but I don't have those insecurities.
Amen.
So, because also in the same way, people could also, unfortunately, I've had to not live in a naive way anymore and realize some people actually have bad intentions, because people could also come and make up things, and people do that about their people's partners, just for the sake of it, just because they're bored and have nothing else to do. But really, truly, I just feel like posting your partner is not a big deal. Like, it's weird though, but it's a black thing. Do you know how many of the girls I went to school with, the white girls I went to school with, and I've seen all the boyfriends they've had? It might be a number 6, and there's no shame in it. It's a black thing to like. We read like relationship. Oh, black people are so exhausting when it comes to like relationships, and oh my gosh, we're at this stage and that stage and this stage, and oh my god, I don't want to show him because they might not like. What? It's okay to date somebody, and you take nice pictures and you want to post it freely, and then you do that. And it doesn't work out, and you delete the pictures and you get the next guy and post him too. Like, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but because people make things weird, I guess people like me who unfortunately have to now think deeper into these things than they should, and that's why I just don't post anything.
Have you ever had a bad experience with a hairdresser? We've traveled to her house and she goes crazy. I've seen a couple things on
about
X
Mulan's
recently.
hair.
I don't know what's that.
She did, basically, some girl went to get her hair done
Where?
at a girl called Mulan's hair. Mulan
Is it
didn't
America?
have no heating, huh?
It's not America.
It's UK,
All right, cool. Then it's not what I'm talking about.
London.
But I also saw that one.
No, that's what started. So whatever you're talking about hair wise,
Yeah.
started from Mulan's hair, because the girl went to get her hair done.
No.
What are you talking about?
There was a girl that got dragged by her hair. Oh no! Her
yes, I
hoodie.
saw that. Yes, I saw that.
And the brother said he's gonna pull up
I
And
saw
then
that. That's funny. Not
Apparently
funny,
she
but
did
that's crazy.
send money, but to the wrong cash app
Oh, really?
address.
Oh.
Yeah, and it became a big thing.
Yeah, so basically...
And then I saw that one with the cold girl.
Yeah, and how can you ask someone, are you anemic? Because I want heated, because I want warmth.
And
He
then
said
the
that
girl-
body language.
The hairdresser was saying, "I don't feel comfortable. You're making a space."
Do you know what killed me?
Where is this language coming from?
Brent, you killed me. Do you know what killed me? She said, I can't work under these conditions. She can't do her hair in these conditions. What the hell do you mean? She can't. The whole point of this video is because she can't do her hair under these warehouse code conditions.
Can I ask a question though?
Of course you can.
Before the recording started,
Yeah.
because we only saw it from there, right?
Yeah.
Based on what we presume about black people, was there any cheekiness in your mind from the girl who was sat down there getting her hair done before the recording started?
So I can't even answer that because I actually know that girl. She's a
Ooh.
friend of my friend.
So you can answer it.
No, but that's the thing though. She's
As
a
in,
friend of my
you can
friend.
speak to her character.
Actually, I can speak to her. She's very sweet.
Cool.
She's a sweet, like I've met her a few times at that friend's birthday
Yeah.
stuff, and she's very, very, she's very, very sweet
Shout
girl.
out you, babe.
Yeah, she's a very, very sweet girl. So
So she probably didn't like.
I don't think
cool
so.
in here, man.
And do you know what? And I also don't. The reason why I don't think that because if it was someone that had that kind of character,
Yeah.
she would have beat that girl up, for sure. Because the number of people I've seen, like doing TikTok, what's it called, reactions,
Yeah.
and they're saying if that was me, they're basically making a point to say that people like her know who to try it with because she would have never tried it with me like that. She would have never had that tone with me, blah blah. Blah. And I think that. And the reason why I wouldn't even think the girl was like that was because UK girls give me anxiety. Like UK hairdressers, I can't do it anymore. I can't. I go to aunties.
Can you talk on it for a little while? Because I was really surprised at the lack of
Support for them.
yes, but also the stories I was hearing. It's as though they don't really want the custom.
Brent, they make you feel as though they are doing you a favor by doing your hair, even though they're charging stupid extortionate prices they ain't paying taxes on. Let HMRC deal with that. Apparently, people are reporting her. You know, she's in deep shit. That's what she's in. Deep.
It's like
Deep.
They don't
I
like
guess
their
jail.
jobs, and then they look to communicate
Yes,
that. And then
but you know what it is
the girls
though?
on the seat would have to basically just
Yeah.
bite their tongue if they want their hair done.
But you know what it is? Melissa said it. Was it Melissa from Melissa's Wardrobe? Said it well. She basically said that there are mean girls who are like everyday just mean girls, but they happen to be mean girls running businesses. And so you don't know customer service and like so the same bitchiness that you exhibit in your normal everyday life, you then take that into your business. UK hairdressers, black UK hairdressers give me anxiety. As outspoken as I am, I have to make sure I tick every box. I check for 1 year from when you're like trying to inquire about their services, you go on their booking page. Brent, you know, like it's all caps lock, red font there. It's all shouting at you. It's like a long terms and conditions you got to read through. That's the only terms and conditions I read. I read with a magnifying. I read like Sherlock Holmes read those cases, child. Like they have all these rules and regulations, even down to don't need the toilet because you can't use the toilet. Like imagine being pregnant.
Sorry.
Oh,
Pause
it's
that.
just
I
now.
heard that some of the hairdressers, they insist that anybody who comes to get their hair done by them wear makeup because after they've done the hair,
You want to take a video of it?
they want to take a video of it.
Yeah, so there's people that do that. I haven't encountered that personally because I wish someone would tell me to put makeup on because you want to do my. Don't be stupid. But there's some of them because they're the ones that they wanna. Yes, but you know what the issue is? Like I feel like with all of that stuff, yeah. The issue is that some of the girls that are doing the hair are mean girls, but I think also some of the customers want the aesthetics they see these mean girls have. There's this whole thing with wanting to replicate the way like American baddies look, right? I feel like the whole baddie thing. I feel like it came from the Americans and the way they are, like all these little babies, baby mothers and all these things, all that stuff, and the way they have their hair is wanting to copy that aesthetic. And the people that can get you these aesthetics are the certain hairdressers. And so the person that is doing your hair also has this aesthetic of Jada Wade and all these people. And then you who wants to get your hair done by this person, look is because you want proximity to this aesthetic as well. And so it's really just, I'm not saying people that sit in the chairs are necessarily mean, but also your desire for certain aesthetics is why you're having to then deal with certain treatments that you're receiving. But some of the girls that do hair are not nice. They're not nice people. Like, it literally gives me anxiety. The customer service is piss poor. They make you feel as though you're disturbing them. Like, you over apologize. You just have to be so careful because they literally can cancel your hair appointment at the last very moment. Someone did that to me in my graduation. Day before my graduation, canceled my hair appointment. I was 2 stops away from her household. And then she said to me, I think that was the second time. Yeah, I think I wanted to do... Yeah. So she cancelled my graduation. My graduation was in July. And I was literally 2 steps away from her house. She just said, oh, I'm not feeling well. I can't do your hair. Whenever you get a hey, hun, from a UK, oh, your heart sinks. My hairdresser, the one who did my hair, did my sewing for me, she's Portuguese, I believe, or something like that, right? Technique is sick, by the way. But anyways, Portuguese, great skills. She messaged me the other day. She's like, hey, lovely. I said, oh no, because I got PTSD from this UK girl. But all she wanted to say to me was like, oh, are you free to come earlier? I've actually got someone else open up because she squeezed me in for a holiday. But because I got that PTSD from the girls, because if you get a hey hun, they're about to cancel on you. I've had someone else cancel. That girl that canceled my graduation one, I then rebooked it for my birthday. That was like a couple of weeks after. What did she do again? Cancelled again. She never did that hair. Then I went. Then I said to her, you know what? I'm coming to pick my hair up. Then I went. And she had the cheek to be rude to me. She does someone's hair that I know, that we all know. But I just think, you know what? Fine. She's nice to her, but she's only nice to her because it's a big figure.
Oh my goodness, she does Tolly's
So
hair.
fair. No, not Tolly.
Why you said no?
She does Gina's hair. But it's fine.
Keep it up.
Of course I did, because she's an embarrassment. Do you know what's so funny as well? Because she actually she commented under the video about the heating, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, babe, as into the girl who went through it. And someone commented and said, I've actually experienced this with you.
I saw that.
I said, well, that'll do it. There's her. There's another girl who was meant to do my hair. This girl lived in Shoreditch. And this is like a few years ago where Shoreditch wasn't ULEZ, right? But it was still the Shoreditch part where you pay an arm and a leg for parking. Please understand, right? And also you have to send your hair to them like 5, 10, 40 days and 40 nights before. You do all of that stuff, and then do you know what? You're meant to send your hair to them beforehand so they can prep it. I promise you get to your appointment and they're prepping it right in front of you.
What's
But
involved in the prep?
So it's like them bleaching the knots and customizing it. So basically, when you go there, essentially it should just be just a fitting, basically. But then they end up doing the full appointment there. Yeah. But then the thing is, though, if you send your hair one day later than the deadline they're giving you, £25. £10. If you're 5 minutes late, £10. If you're 10 minutes late, £10. If you're 30 minutes late, sorry, your appointment is cancelled. These are the foolish things that they do. Anyway, this other one, I had gotten. First of all, I sent my hair to her like days before. The day of my appointment, like an hour, I was just about to leave my house. She's like, oh, you didn't send me your hair? I said, I did. Then she looks and she finds, she's like, oh, found it. Da-da-da-da. She's like, oh, but this doesn't look, da-da-da. I said, anyway, cool. She's like, all right, cool. So she started messaging me back. So in my mind, I'm assuming everything is fine. I get to the appointment. I've paid for parking in this expensive Shoreditch area. She cancelled my appointment.
Whilst you were packing?
I'd already parked. I parked and paid for the parking. Made my way down to her in peak time. These girls, they're just arrogant pieces of shit. That's the bottom line. They're just arrogant. They feel like because they can do hair really well and they're not, and that's the thing. I think people compromise because they're really skilled at what they do, and so people feel like, I'll just deal with this just to kind of get my hair done. But I'm now at a place where I'm sorry, you're not doing that to me, because my thing is, black women's hair gets so much scrutiny constantly. Black women are told their hair is not nice enough, it's not pretty enough, it's not this, not that, whatever else. And so doing your hair is a form of self-care. And if I'm going to spend money, big money as well, to get my hair done, the least you could do, the absolute least you could do, is make this a safe enough environment for me. So I'm now in a place where I'm not putting my money, I don't care what black business it is, I will not be patronizing your business if you make it an unsafe area for me. I cannot be going to places where I'm paying to get services done and you're giving me anxiety.
Facts.
It makes no sense.
all.
And I think until people start doing that and realizing that yes, you want nice hair, but it is not worth the disrespect. It's not worth your time being disrespected. It's not worth you being made to feel like you're not good enough or you're not cool enough. You're not pretty, and they do that. That's why people can have rules about you must wear makeup here because they make you feel as if you're not pretty enough and like you're not enough. And so when it's into influencers, they want to do their hair to the gods. But when it's you and you're an everyday person, they don't care about that. And Melissa said it. She said the joke is that influencers and celebrity clients that you get are not what's going to sustain your business. They are once in a while. It's the everyday people that they do recommend. Like when you do Melissa said, she says, "Oh, I got my hair done here." Those people coming in through the door are the ones that are going to get your bills paid. It's not the one-off celebrity that books you once a year or once every 2 years. And until these girls understand that, we're not going to get anywhere. But again, there's just no consequences for their behavior. And I will be giving you the consequence. I'm not going to book you. What do you mean I'm going to book you? That's nonsense.
These
Bitches are
particular
crazy.
stories, sentiments, frustrations, is it held by quite a lot of black women?
Brent,
So there's a business opportunity.
have you ever heard the story of Audrey's wedding
Right.
when the hairdresser was late? People keep making jokes that the day before the wedding they are going to sleep handcuffed next to the makeup artist, and because people are just unreliable. You have got people who just want to buy nice things, running businesses where they have to interact with human beings, but they don't like interacting with human beings. You're a mean person. You don't like socializing. You don't like speaking to. You don't like people. But because you want to make money, you're in that. You can always tell people who offer services because it's a passion of theirs. They love the talent that they have and they want to nurture and grow in that talent, to people who are just doing it for a quick buck. And people like that don't give you heating, that cancel your appointments whenever they feel like it, that disrespect you, that do all these things, they don't enjoy what they do. And they're just literally there for money so that they can earn money and they can go and buy Chanel bags and they can go on the gram and say hashtag boss babe and hashtag you want to be like me one day. That's really it. The girls are being hairdressers because they want to go to Dubai and have Chanel bags. That's it. There's no passion behind it. There's no qualification either. There's no qualification behind these things. But it's not just the hair girls. It's the makeup girls. It's the one, and it killed me 2 years ago with the facial. It's a lot of them.
Wait, the makeup girls do the same type of lack of customer care and service and whatnot?
Some do, apparently. I think it's... I would definitely... Personally, I would say it's worse with the hair girls. For sure. I would say it's worse with the hair girls. Service. And it's interesting because even... I think a couple of episodes of Receipts the other day, Tony was saying how she feels that people shouldn't run businesses unless they've actually worked in a corporate space. And I think it's so important. Because a lot of people want to do... a lot of people want to do boss babe, boss babe, boss babe, boss babe. But then you don't have... Like, you just don't have any accountability to the business you're running. Nothing. You're just running on vibes. They really get my gears, they grind on my nerves.
I'm definitely going to make sure and have that element of trade available as soon as we have the capital.
Please.
Because one, we'll make a killing to pour back into the community, but we'd also be able to give that level of care and service.
Do you know what someone said though?
That would just make all our black babes happy.
Honestly.
And we will give, obviously, opportunities for the kind girls.
Oh, absolutely.
As opposed to the mean girls.
Oh, I'm going to vet
Even
them.
if the mean girls apply,
No, they're not
they
getting
have
it.
to basically
They're not getting
follow the policy.
Especially the ones...
If they're mean, they're
Listen,
fired.
you see the ones that set me down, the ones that have let me down, I don't care what heights I get into this world. You will never get a job from me or anyone around me. I will make it a thing.
G's may have changed it though.
70 times 7, I'ma forgive. But I ain't gonna forget. I'ma forgive you 70 times 7 times, but I'm not gonna forget once.
Oh my
Not on my watch. You remember. I will remind you.
Sorry, there was a dilemma that was put in, and this person started the dilemma saying, I was one of those people who was hating from the sides of the room when y'all were going through your debacle, right?
Ooh, us?
No.
Oh,
receipts,
receipts, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't say it. I said Tolly, but I didn't tell you that I'm now talking about the receipts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this person then said, but I kept listening, right? I was the one who was saying I'm not listening, but I continue listening, and now I'm here asking you for advice.
Do you know what? No. Has that episode come out yet? Please, I hope it's no Patreon.
It's going to.
Do you know what it
I'm
is?
not sure what the cut, because I find it's cheeky. I think
it's so embarrassing because the honest truth is that you're pathetic. That's the honest truth. But I think that there's one thing to be privately pathetic, and there's another thing to profess your patheticism.
Do you want me to say thank you for changing your mind?
What do you want me to say?
What do you want from me?
Thank
After
you so
you've
much
said
for liking me
you
now.
were there,
Thank you
to the
so
this, to
much.
the next. You don't know what I was going through.
Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much that people were piling on me because that's mad.
But to be fair,
No, it's no fair.
But the reason why I said that is because, but now she's had a change of heart.
I don't
right?
care. Should have kept
Is
that
that
shit to
supposed
yourself.
to be
We're not championing that.
give you some grace for the change, and you admitting that you used to be a mean girl, but now
You used to be a hater. We give you some. Do you know what? Well done for your growth. But I'll be honest, if I was Tolia or Audrey, I don't know what they said, but I'm not giving you credits. I'm not giving you credits for being a sensible person now. You were a hater. That was your private part. You should have said that in your therapy session. Why are you telling me? It's not anything you people want to share online. That's something you should have taken that to a grave.
100%.
You should have taken that to a grave.
Why did you add that bit?
Why did you add that bit?
Why did you let me know that this is who you were? Just
Sorry,
ask,
but no.
Ask for help. Don't tell me that you wanted to tear down.
Nah.
The same thing you want help from now.
And that's why I think, knowing the situation that obviously happened with them and whatever, and the way people were talking about, Tolly's a bully and da 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 da. That's why that's wild to me. That's why that's wild, because that was a crazy time for that girl.
It was
That
such
was a
such
horrible
dark,
time for
dark,
that girl.
dark time.
And you sat there, piled on, and now you want to come on. Now that we've got Mel B, now that we've got Kelani, now that we've got we've got Tatiana Ali. Now we're breaking grounds.
Breaking ground.
Now we're hanging about too many Nigerians. Now we're breaking grounds. You want to come here and say that, oh, you're happy to be here. No. It's fun to be on this cool side, but you don't get kudos for being on this cool side. Because of course you were always going to come back here, but no, you don't get that. People are weird, but that's a backhanded compliment. I think people thought, I thought you were, people used to say this to me. I used to think you were a bitch, but you're so lovely. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for believing in me. Thank you so much for being my friend now. Get out of here.
Oh man, I think I have the reverse of that. I see why you were talking. I see why you were talking like this time.
People are crazy, man. People are
Oh
crazy.
man. Sorry. Let's go back
Anyway,
into the road.
let me just, speaking of beef, am I on that next? Oh, so this is what we're talking about. Oh, great. This is perfect. Great segue. Talking about backhanded compliments here.
Ooh, Samuel's in the Discord. He's about to come and tell us as to why it is that we should be loving Trump. Samuel, accept the invitation, and when it is that you can come in, you can sit quietly.
Oh, yes, Samuel.
Yeah. Go on.
Okay, you can do that in people's journal. What's it called? So speaking of backhanded compliments, so you remember at the Brit Awards, Stormzy got rapper or something like that. Grime, gospel.
No, he got
It was rap.
hip hop.
It was hip hop / grime or rap / hip hop.
I think Stormzy got grime. Sorry, not Stormzy. Scorcher got grime, and Stormzy got the other thing.
Yeah,
Hip hop and something.
hip hop and something. Yeah. So so he got that, and then he shouted at Central C, said Central C, she didn't want to. Do you know? By the way, I don't know when people do stuff like that. I just think, accept your word and sit down. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, he did that, right? Cool.
Best. Oh, I thought I found it.
Oh no.
Sorry,
Okay.
go on.
It's okay. So he did that, yeah. So basically, he started at Central C and said Central C had a great album, blah, 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 whatever. Central C's manager decided that he started to respond to that, right?
Got it.
Go on, what was it?
Hip hop, rap, grime act.
I knew you had something like that because Chip then goes on a whole round. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But the boys are fine. But anyway, so he shouted at Central C, said Central C deserved it, blah, 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 whatever. So this is what I mean about backhanded compliments here, because I just think this is very unprovoked and there was no information anyone needed to know. Central C's manager then decides, and then YB's, right? He then decides to make a post and he says, shout out Stormzy on the Brits win. I don't necessarily think Central deserve to win. Sorry, yeah. Imagine my manager saying that you don't think I deserve to win. Your commission is cut short. What are you managing then? So he said, I don't necessarily think Sench deserve to win. Up for debate because Bashi released a great album last year. I even this is the part that shakes me, right? He says Bashi released a great album last year. I even rang ahead of the Mobos and put in a word as well and said it'd be a disservice if he never took an award home. Bashi did win at the Mobos. But I don't know why you need to say that. Why did you need to tell people that you called ahead of the Mobos to say, hey, you better give that to Bashi? Then obviously next day Bashi gets it, and it just takes away from his moment, takes away from his glory, whatever. Then he went on to say, and there's been social commentary saying Gets deserved it as well, but I haven't checked the project, so I can't comment, but I don't doubt it. I don't know what the point of this post was. He goes on to say, but honestly speaking, Sench never really cared about award shows. Oh, there's so many things I don't like about this post, but I don't like when artists do the whole, I don't care about award shows. Well, shut up then, and don't release your album on a Friday then. Don't release your album on a day that you know is submitted in to chart. Release it. Do you know what? Don't care so much that you just release on SoundCloud. Release on SoundCloud because you don't care so much. Anyway, Sench never really cared about award shows. Same reason you never seen him perform at one, even though they ask us all. They all ask us every year. And also the reason I didn't convince him to go to the Mobos this year, but he posted about it after he won, which was a respectful thing to do. I don't know what all of this is about. I don't. But yeah, each year I get a phone call letting me know whether we won an award or not. But on one particular year, my team convinced me it's a good idea to go regardless of us not winning. And that's why Sench said he felt like a prick because he went against what he'd naturally do and he didn't even win. And when he made that record, it wasn't intended to be a diss, but dude took it like, shut up, I don't care. That's what he was saying. He was talking a lot of, in my opinion, nonsense. Like, you don't care about the awards, okay, that's fine, whatever. But anyway, speaking of Stormzy, right? Stormzy's going through a lot in the past month. Probably not in real life, to be fair. But anyway, there's that. So Chip obviously always has something to say about Stormzy, the conversation's going. So he said, I can rap, but my fundamentals are grime. Hold on, is that how it starts? No, sorry. He says, yeah, here's some tweets to spark some truth. A man done a gospel album, GH. I think that's like ghetto gospel. I think. And a drum and bass single. And won best rap, grime, and hip hop. At this point, he's not my problem. He's you lots. Mockery. LOL. And had the cheek to say it's done by votes as if he's beating Central C at that. Today. Then it says, not to mention amongst all this McDonald's stuff, I see everyone cooking him, but I just laughed in my head and said a man went from Men's Health to McDonald's all in one Instagram row. LOL. I can rap, but my fundamentals are grime. He ain't done F-all in grime or for grime apart from disrespect his creators. And as for hip-hop/rap, please understand, no. It's just a no. Even the Brits putting grime and hip-hop in the same category is crazy. One's UK made. Anytime I see this guy speaking about Jesus, it just makes me itchy, man. I can't lie. It's because it's still, how are you blinded by his grace, but still managed to ... So I guess that's when he showed up at his house. Did they have a physical? Was he home? I think he was. After that, he wasn't home, right?
I don't know, you know.
When you're blinded, you don't know where you're going, innit? So you could end up anyway.
Anyways, front door.
And if your friend is in the passenger's seat, directing you to left to the right, flip his friend.
He says, how are you blinded by his grace but still manage to ... Humans can be hypocritical, yes, but it's adults. But it's adult to correct your wrongs. If someone can tell me what he stands for. But anyway, stop me where I lied and I'll start again. The truth will set you free. Some people have to play the game. I don't. Best thing he could have done is go up there and say, Sench, this is yours. And nothing else. Seen as DBE went up for it either. Grime. Anyway, LOL. And then Stormzy's manager said, you get itchy every time he says Jesus. Okay, demon. So not his manager, his friend. He's part of the Mackies. There's I think it was Flips. Anyway, that's what's happening in these streets, child. I just,
It's a shame though, man.
It's a shame. Oh, and then Wiley said that they should all meet up and kumbaya and talk it out. and just get this sorted.
Yes. That's a good
That's a good
role model right there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Certain people want to say he's negative and that, but
Wiley.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's not black people that cancelled him though.
You know what I'm saying? Big up the black people. So yeah, big up
some-
Wiley.
Okay, demon, it took me out because what? What do you mean? You imagine you itching every time someone's pleased the blood of Jesus. That's crazy. You need Jesus. Anyway, that's what's happening, man. The boys are fine. Well, it sounds like it's like a one-sided. I feel like Chip always has something to say about Stormzy because when the whole McDonald's thing happened as well, he was very much like, I told you guys. I was like, you didn't tell us anything. Like no one could have guessed the pro-Palestine post and then McDonald's. No, you didn't. I hate when people try and tag on to something like I told you. No, you didn't. Should be more. You should have given more details then if you knew all of this. Anyways, that's it.
Shame.
That's it for me. Let's get people's journal.
Just reminded me of my mother just now.
What did I say?
You should have given me more details. You can't say after the fact that, oh, that's what I was talking about. My mother said that she had a dream years ago
Yeah.
pertaining to me
Yeah.
and my role in this world.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did she tell you?
No, she
But
didn't.
she's saying it now. That's convenient, auntie.
She said, obviously, like she's learned about T&B and strips and drabs,
Yeah.
in it because we don't meet up like too often. So when
Yeah.
we have a big family thing, that's
You
when we
catch
can
up.
see her. Yeah. So obviously she's learned that now Steve is involved.
Mm-hmm.
And when Steve is involved in something, she kind of takes it more seriously because he's the favorite. one. Steve is the archetype favorite child.
Something like
favorite
yeah.
family and whatnot. It's like,
Got married, got 2 kids. That is perfect.
beautiful children.
Poster kids.
3 beautiful children.
Beautiful.
So now she's hearing all of this. She's like, oh.
Now she's
and
can
then
you
she will
imagine?
say, I had a dream, right?
Girl.
Because I'm also sorry. Where you say you're surprised Stephen is into all this stuff I'm talking about,
Yeah.
my mother is also now getting there.
But is that because of Stephen again? Because I remember you told me
yes or no?
how the conversations have been with her in the
100
past.
So I've been talking.
Yes.
Right? And I stopped talking.
And she's been ignoring.
Because, no, not just ignoring. She'd be like, nah.
Not that Jesus.
This is
Not my
devil-
Jesus.
This is devilish. Yeah. Because how she doesn't even think that well, she used to not think that I was a proper Christian.
They're born again.
Yeah, a born again, 100%. Because when I told her, I remember that day so vividly. My parents were in the kitchen, and I told them, I said 2 things.
Of course
I said
you
two
did.
things. I said, 1, like, how come you're not living this thing that you all are just
Preaching about, yeah.
religiously, subscribe to?
Yeah.
You understand? But then I went on to say, you all realize that the Bible doesn't hold everything you need to know about God, right?
Can't say that, man.
I can't.
She got so mad.
I can't.
When you were saying that, I was thinking, I know the Nigerians are shaking in their boots. Look at the nice their parents like that.
I told them it's impossible to contain God,
Yeah.
everything
you
you need in just one particular book, especially seen as it's been flipping,
Taken out and whatnot.
Yeah, son. So at that time,
Therefore, you're an Illuminati.
blasphemy. So that's when she they take
Blasphemy.
these young people, these rebellious, this, that, next. Obviously now she's flipped that on its head and she's now coming to me
Can you imagine?
with stuff. I'm like, oh, you found that video, did you? I saw that 10 years ago, baby. But she's now interested in the angel conversation.
Yeah.
She's bringing me information. She's now talking about, you'll be proud.
So you be proud.
Black people were there from the way beginning.
All right,
Yeah, she's getting into that too. She getting into that
Big
too.
up, auntie.
So I don't know if she's being radicalized or just
What's happening?
What? But the same time
something's going
conversation I'm
on.
talking about aliens, she's now interested in it because she knows now there's a spiritual a war going on and it's seeping into the everyday
Yeah.
world. So that's the only time anyway, I said all of that to say she had told me this influence that you have, it is 100% is God ordained, but you must be careful because obviously absolute power corrupts absolutely and this,
Absolutely,
that, and this. But she's like, there's a dream that I had and I can't share it yet because it's not the right time. I'm like, what kind of this is not useful. What? And the thing is how my mind's set up. Don't say
up-
that you have something
Yeah,
to tell
yeah.
me, but you can't tell me yet.
Yeah.
Then don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me. You understand? Don't hint. And I always do this, Stephen. Seems like
Christians
I was
love
gonna
it.
say. Then say it now, man.
Christians love it. I have a word for you, but it's not time. But sometimes it's not time though.
Okay. okay. You wait for the Holy Spirit to tell you when, yeah?
So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes you say something and then the Holy Spirit's like, don't say it. And as you go to say something, interrupts. I'm like, thank you, Lord.
And you don't observe that particular type of discernment when it is that you open your mouth to cause trouble. Huh? When you're making observations in people's households.
In people's businesses, innit?
Where the wife's like, Stephen, talk to your mother, man. Nah, that's when it is. You're like, yeah, whatever I do and say in the time in which I want
It's
to.
great timing all of a
ordained.
sudden now.
It's ordained. But this, I say, oh, like, it's filibuster.
You know, it's like we all live the same lives, just in different font. It's crazy.
All right, then.
People's journal,
People's
please.
journal. Samuel, you have to accept the invitation to come to the stage.
Samuel.
I want you to ask me all these questions about your lover boy Trump.
So A. Dot said that. It's not me. A. Dot said it. Actually doing.
Good morning, Samuel. Talk to us. You have to unmute your mic.
Yo, morning.
Morning.
Where'd you hail from? How old are you?
I'm 31, and just firstly, shout out to you guys. Love the podcast,
Thank
daily
you.
listener. Yeah, keep doing your thing.
Big up you, man.
Talk to us.
Yeah, no, so I feel like
Your connection
Brent
is
especially
clean.
has a lot of negative things to say about
Bear in mind, you can speak to me.
Trump
You can
and-
speak to me. I'm speaking to you right now. So when you say Brent has, you can say I have, yeah?
Yeah, so my assumptions are you've got a lot of negative things to say about Trump, and I don't feel like a lot of it is justified.
Thank you. What are the things that I've said that is negative that isn't justified in your opinion?
So just from today, when the topic of the tariffs came up, there was a lot of negative views based on that. Just that's the vibe that I got. But from my perspective, it makes a lot of sense why America are imposing some of these tariffs.
So what did I say that was negative? Because I remember
I
him
don't have
talking
it
about
verbatim.
China, him meaning Emmanuel, bringing up China and what they said, and then I brought
Yeah.
up Trump. So explain to me what I said that was negative. I like specificity, especially if it is you're accusing me of something.
Wow, Brent. Okay. um, yeah. So I don't have it word for word from what you said.
I don't need the
but-
word for word. You can paraphrase.
Oh yeah. So paraphrasing, it was more so. Is there going to be an actual war? Like, I don't know why America is doing this. That's the vibe that I got. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But just even from other shows, it just seems like anytime Trump's name gets brought up, it's like he's the bad man. He's bad. And that's just, I just don't think that's very fair.
All right. I don't think you provided what I'm asking you for, but I really do want to engage you on this in a different way, right? You've said other shows I have expressed that I don't like Trump and he's a bad man. I don't think that
Is that correct, by the way? Is
100%.
that
I think he's a
correct
bad
assumption?
man. I 100% believe he's a bad man. This is my opinion, and
Yeah.
I do want you to let me know what are the good things you feel that Trump presents to the world.
So I'm just gonna go off the topic of today. So in terms of the tariffs and the trade wars, you look at some of the things that he wants to impose. For example, the UK, we've got VAT. So any imports from America, they have to pay an added VAT, which generally costs America an additional like 60 billion. Like you can check online, you can do your facts, check your facts. So that's something that they help boost our economy in the UK. All Trump is saying is any countries that have a tariff against us, they're going to impose the same tariff, which I think is completely fair.
Cool. Another thing that Trump has done that you like and think is good that I have said is bad.
Specifically that you've said is bad.
Yeah.
I just think, okay, you haven't. I don't know if you've said this is specifically bad, but I would say him trying to dismantle the woke mind virus that is very rampant in the West. I think that's a good thing. I don't know if you think that's a bad thing, but I do think that's a good thing.
All right, so I guess let's let's get back to that bit because I definitely haven't said that's bad. So let me continue focusing on the things that you think that Trump is doing that's good, right? Because I think that's a question I did ask you. So you like the fact that he's trying to dismantle the woke virus. What else do you like about Trump?
I like that he's anti-war. I think the UK and the rest of Europe, for some sort of reason, they seem to be pro-war, which isn't good for the economy. I think Trump is more anti-war, which in my eyes is because he's a businessman. So for him, it's just the cash loss. So I think he's anti-establishment. Um, yeah, those sort of agendas are things that align with my beliefs.
Do you believe that Trump wants to make America the most powerful military nation in the world?
I think he wants to make America the most powerful in every aspect.
Cool. And that would include the military arm,
The
yes?
military,
By default.
yeah, by default, of course, yeah, by
All right.
default, yeah.
Do you think that he would entertain any country talking sideways about America?
Can you be more specific?
When he sat down in the Oval Office and it was alluded
Yeah,
to him by Zelensky that America would be open to doing the same thing that Ukraine was going through, and he's like, wait, no, that's not going to happen. Don't speak on America like
yeah.
that.
hmm
My question is, does he not defend America's name in every single sitting?
Um, in that specific circumstance, I can see how he reacted the way he reacted. You can't give a low-key threat in someone's house and expect it to go well, especially considering the amount of money that America has poured into Ukraine when his whole agenda is America first.
And fair enough. I do believe that any single leader with any sort of courage and backbone would look to defend their nation from anybody talking sideways about it. And I think Zelensky did the same thing in that sitting. Or do you not agree with
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah. No. Do you know what? I agree, but I think again, there's a lot of context. What's his name? Is it Marco Rubio? Apparently, there was a lot of talks with Zelensky and Marco Rubio beforehand that he was going to come into this meeting and sign that deal. And so it just seems like the vibe that, like, the energy that was given was completely off, where there were prior talks and arrangements that, okay, this deal is pretty much signed and agreed. And it just seemed like it just went completely left on both sides, not just from Zelensky, but from JD Vance and Trump.
Cool. Do you feel that Trump's America, is going to be a good partner for Putin's Russia?
Good partner. I feel like that's a strong word. I think so, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I do think so.
Do you think Trump's America would be a good partner for Netanyahu's Israel?
Yes.
Do you think that his actions have come because Netanyahu wants
Mhm.
a particular thing done? Anything
I
pertaining to
think both
Israel,
part-
do you think that
yeah.
Netanyahu is the one who is basically guiding or whispering in Trump's ears to carry out certain things?
I think it's a give and take. I think it's on both sides. I think when a deal is made, both parties have an interest. And I don't know necessarily what Trump's goal is. Obviously, he's anti-war. So I think he's willing to broker a deal that will obviously also benefit Israel in certain aspects.
What did you think about the video that he posted on his social media platform?
Which one? Sorry.
Sorry,
The-
Brent, can I speak after you guys have finished speaking, please? I just want to rebut some points.
Yes. The video where he shared his dream for the Gaza Strip, the one where the last scene was Netanyahu and him drinking cocktails.
You mean the one where Trump was saying how he wants to turn Gaza into like a World Trade Center or something like that along those lines? Is that the one or?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's what you saw, but if that's the video, then yes, that's the same video I'm talking about.
As in, what do I think about it?
Yes.
I think Trump sometimes isn't careful with these words. I think he, depending on who he likes and favors, he may essentially gas up certain situations. So I think him saying what he said about what he wants to do with Gaza, I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I think Trump says a lot with his words, and I think you've got to sort of take the meat in and spit out the bones. Generally speaking, he's anti-war, and with the whole situation that's going on, the Palestinians, it's a sensitive topic. So it's something that like how do we get to a point where there's no conflict or minimal conflict? And I think that's what he wants. I think the how is always going to be tricky. Like it's gonna be tricky, or we just continue fighting and we end up getting into a world war.
So just focusing on the video that you saw, are you saying that that's the best solution in your mind for both parties?
I don't think it's the best solution, but when we look at the previous administration, there was no solution. So someone's come to the table and given a potential solution that may not be the best. Like both sides aren't gonna be happy with the solution. So
Brent,
I mean, when you look at comparing it to previous administrations where things weren't any better. So I'm not saying I think the Palestine topic is very sensitive. It's not something that we can just solve or anyone could just solve, but at least he's trying to give something different, I think.
Brent, I beg you tag me in, please, because I gotta go.
Go on, Christy. Crystal, sorry.
Hey, Christy.
Sorry,
Hi,
sorry,
Samuel.
Crystal.
Sorry, I just wanted to touch on a few of your points. Forgive me because obviously I only really joined when I had you guys in the background, but I really peaked when you guys were talking about this. And again, I think Brent and some of your speakers may know my stance on Trump, and I think a lot of people have a very lazy stance on Trump in terms of people will give real reasons against, and then their thing will do is, I think that's quite unfair. So, have you ever heard of the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act?
No, but you can educate me. No.
Okay, so the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act is exactly what Trump is trying to do, right? So when America gets all protectionist, and they start doing trade wars, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act is the one thing that actually set off the Great Depression in 1933. Right? You cannot do protectionism when you rely on global trade. America trades with everyone, everyone trades with America. You put in tariffs only increases the cost of goods to everyone else, which means that people will eventually stop either trading with you, or goods in your own country become incredibly expensive to set off depressions and recessions, right? So we've only ever had really two: the Great Depression of 1929 to 1933, and then the Great Recession in 2008. So a lot of economists are saying that actually we're going back down that road. Protectionism does not work in the world of global trade. And you said VAT. VAT is not a tariff, right? VAT is very different. The states already have a form of VAT. That's called sales tax. It happens in all the states in the US. every state has their own different tax, apart from if you're in Florida and certain southern states, because they don't believe in taxing citizens in that way. But it's not VAT. So likening it to VAT is a very false analogy. It's just false information. VAT is a value-added tax that you put on goods and services that you charge your citizens to pay for certain goods and services. It's an indirect tax. Tariffs are not. Tariffs are things that you put on importers of goods, wherever those goods are made, and then those things are passed on to people with added VAT. Do you get the difference?
Can I respond?
Yeah, she's talking to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no. Thank you for letting me know about the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. I think with the tariffs again, I think I can completely understand what happened and the negative implications that happened with that tariff act. However, Trump has been very vocal about what he wants to do with tariffs, more so as a bargaining chip. So using it as a potential tool to leverage something that will also benefit America. I still would have to also disagree on the VAT. I understand what you mean in terms of the states, but in terms from a global perspective, for the UK VAT's revenues from US imports are around 60 billion. That's something that benefits the UK and is at the cost of America.
But we've already but
And
you've already paid a tariff charge once the goods are already in. VAT is added on top. VAT is not the tariff. You do understand
no,
that,
but
right?
it's
Even in the UK.
likening it. It's like a
No,
tax.
it no, it
It's
isn't.
essentially a
No,
tax,
it
but
no, it
it's an
isn't.
added fee. That's how I
Yes, an
see it.
added fee. So it's
Yeah,
not that a tax, because you likened it saying that we have VAT and
yeah.
therefore Trump is just adding a VAT. That's wrong.
No, I didn't
Tariffs
say
already
Trump
paid.
adding a VAT. I was
No,
likening it. I didn't say it
no,
was.
you did. You likened it and said we have VAT here, so you don't see
Yes.
any issue with him having a tariff. They're not the same though. We already have tariffs when you import stuff. VAT is added on top. We already have
Okay.
tariffs. We already have import charges. We already have things that mean that costs of goods are already more expensive when they enter here. VAT just gets slapped on top. So it's
Mhm.
not the same. And when you're saying, oh, it's a bargaining chip, yeah, I get it. But sometimes, let's just be honest, some things are stupid. Right? It might be a bargaining chip. It's just a very stupid one because
I mean, that's basically
you don't they actually have a 1 billion trade deficit. What's it called? What's the word? Deficiency. So America actually imports
Deficit.
1 billion more than they export, right? They're going
yeah,
to
exactly.
bankrupt themselves if they keep
And the
adding that.
reason
They
again,
import more.
the reason why he says, like, if you hear when he's talking, he says, okay, we want to put this tariff on, but then a way to avoid it is to actually encourage businesses to come into America, build factories, and actually um have factories in America to where you can then hire more American workers, and which makes sense. And I
And
can completely understand.
where does the raw material come from? Where does the steel, the aluminium, the bauxite, the copper,
Well, again, it
where
depends. It depends on what the
where
actual
does it come from? No, where does it come from? It doesn't come from America, right?
yeah, exactly.
Canada is actually their biggest provider of electricity in the eastern seaboard, right? Canada
Yeah.
powers most of the eastern states in America, right? Canada provides a lot of their timber, a lot of their steel, a lot of their aluminium. Where are they getting the natural resources from to be able to even have this trade war? They don't have natural resources. The only thing they have is oil, which you keep saying, drill, baby, drill. Other people can do that. So a trade war when you don't have the natural resources to actually power any of this stuff makes no sense. We're not in the time of slavery anymore, where cotton and sugar and whatever is the main global export, and you've got it. They don't have it. Right. And the reason why, and let's go back. So Putin, the actual reason why he's having a lot of these if we're now in a world in 2025 where Russia is now becoming the US's global ally, we fucking didn't need most of the 20th century. We did not need the Cold War. We did not need most of the Caribbean countries decimated through the Cold War, Africa decimated.
Exactly. Period.
Because they should have just been allies in the first place, right? The reason why we have this allyship is because Trump understands they're running out of raw materials. All the sanctions that we placed on Russia meant that things got increased. I understand that, but they don't have it. So he is willing to pick wars with other people to show that he can be Putin's ally. But then we didn't need any of the Cold War. We didn't need the Korean War. We didn't need the Vietnam War. We didn't need Congo being destabilized. We didn't need Burkina Faso being. We didn't need Cuba. We didn't need any of that if Russia was now going to be the perfect ally, right? In geopolitical terms, this doesn't make sense. It is a nightmare. So I understand why people like Trump.
All the alliances with Russia.
Pardon?
Sorry, you said it doesn't make sense as in the tariffs or the alliance with
No,
Russia?
the alliance, because I moved on from tariffs. I'm now moving on to alliances, right? And you say that Trump is not a president of war. That's a lie, because he's still willing to finance the war in Israel or whatever they
No,
call
but
it.
he hasn't
War.
started
It's not a war.
in his last term. He started no new wars.
It doesn't matter. You don't.
Every
No
other
new
president
wars.
did, but he
No
didn't.
new wars. No president is going to come and say, "I want to start a war." No
Yeah,
president.
but
But presidents inherit wars, right? They inherit wars. Trump may say no new wars because there's no war where America is actively fighting, but there are always wars that America is covertly fighting. The wars that he will never tell you about, the wars that he cares about, right? They have not stopped funding Israel. That's a war.
but again, I understand what you're saying, but that's like we can look at the facts. Like before Trump, you had Bush who started the Afghan and Iraqi war, Obama in Libya, Syria. Trump's administration, his first term, he did not start any new wars.
Yeah, he
And
inherited
that's
them. He didn't need to start. He inherited them and carried them going.
but there's
Just
a
because
reason why, like he's
just because someone
anti-war.
says something, he's not anti-war. He's not anti-war at all. American geopolitics can never be anti-war. They are founded on war. Many of the global industries that they rely on is war. So for you to say that America and an American president can actually come and practically and realistically be against war is a fallacy to me, because they are founded on war. Their biggest industries is
I
war.
understand. I understand the history of America and the bigger picture. I'm just going off of what I've seen from Trump and the rhetoric and what he's done. From what I've seen, and from maybe you can give me more information, but from him specifically, I haven't seen someone who is a warmonger. He's not your traditional Republican. He's not. And that's why the establishment did so much to make sure he tried not to become the new president. Like when you look at traditional Republicans, they are for war. He is not. That's not what he's for. But again, I understand the bigger picture of America and what they're built on. I understand. So, I mean, from
And
that
also,
point,
again, I
agree to
said
disagree.
I assume that you're a black person, right? In terms of
Yeah, I'm Nigerian.
right. And whenever people and again, this goes back to Brent. Do you remember the conversation when I was having with E-Man a few weeks ago? Whenever people have this about why Trump isn't so bad, there are specific times when you can see that that man is the devil incarnate, and we choose to just ignore it. So recently, there have been there's literally been reports. You can go read it. When he before Obama and them left, they passed certain legislations that meant that black farmers and black agricultural workers could have access to certain funds. They earmarked $2 billion. Trump froze that on his way in and kept it frozen. Joe Biden, in coming in, went to court to try and get that frozen. That was unfrozen during that time. And then Trump then has come back and said no, right? So that is literal examples of a man who's doing things to make sure that people that look like you are disadvantaged. But we come here and we talk about such random speaking points to justify a man that there's no justification. There's none.
Can I
If you like him,
rebuttal? Because again, we will pick and choose. Like I understand those things that you've highlighted, but then when you look at things like the first step at opportunity zones, in terms of his funding for HBCUs, and I know there was a previous show where apparently that got debunked, but we can go back and forth on that. The Platinum Plan proposal, like he's also done things that has benefited black people as well. So which one is it? Is he against people of color or is he for people of color?
He's against. He's fundamentally against. Yeah. You'll never get me to change my mind on. You'll never get me to change my mind on that person. His history, where he's from, the historical setting, his own behavior. Nothing about that man tells me that he's for black people. Nothing. You can tell you can say all these first steps, whatever, but again, those are not things that he initiated. Those are things that senators and certain congressmen came.
Hello?
Damn. Connection.
None of them can take Christelle down. Can't do that.
Nope.
Sorry. So far, thank you very much for the conversation, the back and forth.
Yeah, it's been great.
What's his name?
Samuel.
Samuel. I appreciate this.
Christelle.
And your connection is really, really clear. You should come on the Discord more often, because obviously we're going to be here throughout the entire tenure of
Life.
100%. But Trump specifically. So each time he does something, I want you to basically come and explain to me why I should like it, right? Because I did ask you about the video, and I want to focus on the video. I want to know what you thought about the video. You told me.
Sorry, can you put a link in the Discord so I can see this video? Because I might be watching a different video.
The most abhorrent thing I've ever
you're
seen
back.
a US sitting president post,
She's been talking.
and yet people are acting like that is not him advocating for ethnic cleansing.
Oh, Christelle, no, you
And-
baby, you cut out.
Oh, can you hear me?
Wow.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
We
You
can
can't
hear
have
you
a
now.
while.
Oh yeah,
you know?
no, sorry, someone called me. I was saying
Oh,
that video, Brent, is so hilarious how people are coming in and trying to act like it isn't a clear sign of genocide and ethnic cleansing, right? You saying we're going to remove a bunch of people and then we're going to build this great settlement here, ethnic cleansing, and yet we're all sitting here acting like that's not what he's advocating, and you want me to think that that's a good person?
I'm going to show it to you, Samuel.
But Samuel never said he's not advocating for that, though.
Yeah, I
You
didn't,
know what
I
I mean?
didn't say
Like,
that.
you
But
can't
fair
say
enough.
that.
No, but I want you to let me know what you
No,
think
not Samuel. I'm
about
not saying
it.
Samuel. I'm saying in general.
Okay.
Okay, I found it. Let's see. Are you looking at the stream, Samuel?
Yeah.
Okay, hold up. This is a remix. Someone cleaned it up. Where are we? Don't tell me they've scrubbed.
But yeah,
it.
I think I know the video you're talking about.
Anyway, so
Ed, where are you when we need you?
I'll find it again. Yeah, so it's the video that had the Persian woman dancing with the beds. And then the last scene was him and Netanyahu chilling, drinking cocktails. Where is this? Video.
You guys said he posted on his Twitter, innit?
He posted on Truth Social, and then he got reposted on X.
Oh, okay.
So question. So since that, what he's proposing is a bad solution, what is a good solution then? I don't. What's the best outcome?
No, I don't want to do that. I want to find out what you think about the video, because I've heard.
Okay.
I've heard, yourself, Emmanuel.
I think it was. I'll be real.
So
I think it was very.
I can propagate a best outcome. I can suggest a best outcome. The best outcome is you leave the land how it was drawn before, right? Get all the settlers out of the West Bank.
Before when though? When?
To be fair, I'm a bit more radical, so I won't do my radical one because I might get arrested. But if we're going to start talking about a solution, Gaza didn't need to be an open air prison in the first place, right? If you're going to give people a strip of land and say this is where you live, you give them self-determination. Why have you turned it into an open prison? Why is there checkpoints to get in and out? Why have you built gates around them? Why are you allowing settlers to come in to take land, right? Also in the West Bank, why are you allowing settlers to come and build on land that you said is Palestinian land, which is not governed by Hamas, right? If the issue is Hamas, the West Bank is not governed by Hamas. Certain parts of Jerusalem and other parts that are also Palestinian territories are not governed by Hamas. So if we're talking about solutions, how about we provide a solution where people that have a right to the land also have a right to self-govern and also have a right to dignity, right? The solution is not to say, oh, let's move them to Egypt, let's move them to Jordan, let's move them to whatever, and we build a resort for ourselves. No, that's not the solution. So if you're going to say what other solution, that even makes me feel like you think that that's even a solution to discuss. That is not a solution to be discussed.
Yeah.
Ethnic cleansing is not a solution to be discussed ever. And as a black person, you should understand the slippery slope argument you're going down if you're allowing people to say that a solution to them wanting your land is them coming ethnically cleansing you out and then building something because, what other solution are you proposing is insane to me.
Hey, I didn't propose that as a solution.
The
so
video is up now.
don't
Samuel,
put that on
watch the
me.
stream. Watch the
Don't
stream.
put
Watch the
me.
stream. I'm gonna play the video now. Yeah.
Tunnels coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, no light for all to see.
It's so bad.
Insane,
So
you know.
bad.
That
Crazy.
golden statue is why you have some of the religious people saying that this is idol worship. Let me know your feelings, your thoughts, Samuel, after watching that, please. I need to know.
Did he put that video out?
Yeah, he did.
No,
Yeah,
what,
I
what,
think-
sorry, go on.
Sorry, Milo. Go on.
No, I just want to say, I think Samuel's asking,
If he
basically, did he himself basically finance the video and upload it on his thing?
No, you just added the finance.
Yeah.
No, I think
He
that's what
didn't
he's
ask that.
saying.
No,
though.
forget finance. Because I saw did he upload the video?
Yeah.
He didn't upload it, but he retweeted it.
So no, stop.
No, he
Stop,
uploaded it.
Stop. This is what I don't like. I don't like this. Everything that he normally tweets on his platform, we take as gospel. It gets reported, right? And that's not just on X. That's also on Truth Social. 'Cause that's where he communicates. He's been literally talking on his flipping platforms for the longest while. We've seen him in videos give the phone to his aide after tweeting something or typing something. But now, when this is posted, you're wondering,
Yeah, but
did he
is it really
finance
him?
this?
No, forget the finance.
He
Basically,
wanted the world to basically see this video, so he uploaded it. You
No,
think
yeah,
something
100%.
on his platform without him saying, yes, put it on?
No, of course. But when you're saying his
Wait,
platform, in fact, yeah, let me let Samuel talk.
Go on, Samuel.
E-man, keep do this. I'll drive there. Don't do this.
Yeah, the question that I was asking, did he actually put it out? Did he edit it? Did he put his media team behind it to create this video? And then, or was it just a repost? Because I think one thing about Trump as well, he's got an ego. He likes people. He likes us discussing him. He likes, whether it's going to be bad media or good media, like he likes his name in being spoken about because he's got an ego. And I think we all know that. So I think him reposting it, I don't know what's in his mind. I don't know if he's now assuming, okay, this is what I want to do. But the fact that now left-wing media, they will talk about it. They say Trump bad. It's to him, it doesn't do anything for him.
Yeah, but do you think
So,
it's
I don't know.
distasteful?
I do think it's distasteful. I did say that initially.
So yeah, so
I don't
if he
think
thinks it's distasteful, whether he enjoys being spoken about or whatever the case is, it's such a disgusting video that he should have never endorsed it in any kind of way. Right? Would you agree with that?
I hear that. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is that with me, I only start talking about Trump when he's done something and I'm responding to it. I don't like Trump. Everybody knows I don't like Trump for a myriad of reasons. I mean, even what he's doing in South Africa and getting involved over there, I don't know, for Elon Musk's agenda, I don't know. But that directly affects black people in South Africa. I have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So when things...
E-man, pro-black, what say you?
Okay, Christelle.
about South Africa?
Girl, we see each other because
I need.
I was gonna say, I thought let me not do this to E-man today.
No,
E-man,
'cause
pro-black.
I'm leaving you guys have a discussion. Like,
No, what say you, Mr. Pro-black?
But the
'Cause
only
remember
thing,
last conversation we had.
the only thing I would say about the South African thing is, I don't like that. Obviously, firstly, you guys should know I don't think any of them should be there. Firstly, that's number one.
Oh, you made
Number
that
two,
clear.
Number two, Elon Musk and Donald Trump shouldn't be in South Africa's business. Number three, I blame us for being dependent on US aid. 100%. Now, obviously, we can get into why African nations are dependent on aid from the West. We understand. But when we get to a place where we're self-sufficient, we do for self. We rely on self. Burkina Faso is an example. We wouldn't be affected by these threats. You know what I'm saying? So that's my position.
Ooh, Cool. Burkina Faso is an example, but Burkina Faso is also an example of how they decimated the country. So remember when I was saying about why Russia being their ally makes no sense? You know why Burkina Faso was decimated
Russia being whose ally?
under Thomas Sankara?
Russia being whose ally? America's ally or Burkina
Russia
Faso's
being
ally?
America's ally.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Do you remember why how Burkina Faso first got decimated?
Tell me.
Well, because Thomas Sankara did a whole speech to the UN saying we don't need aid.
Yeah.
You know, we come to you, we've helped you. We don't need
Yeah,
aid.
yeah.
We're now going to
Mhm.
build a more and what happened, right?
Yeah,
so
of course. They
the
got.
very
Sorry, go on.
so the very people that he was trying to base his republic on, socialism, communism,
Mhm.
which was Russia, right,
Mhm.
is the reason why the Americans assassinated him.
Yeah.
Same reason with what's his name, Patrice Lumumba, right?
Mhm.
Went to the US, said, "Hey, we need some help." No. Okay, cool. We're gonna build a more socialist state based on Russia. What
Yeah.
happens? Assassinated him. So that's what I don't understand. Why are we now applauding and being happy that Russia and the US are now going to be allies?
No, I'm not. I don't really care about like white people's business like that. I care more so. I use Burkina Faso as an example of us doing for self, and like you pretty much, I'm sure you know, Burkina Faso is now trying to build an alliance with Russia. You know what I'm saying? Because the West doesn't care for black people. We know this already. So my position is never thinking the West cares about me. I'm not in that boat where I think, oh, this side is better than the other side. They're all the wrong side for me. You know what I'm saying? It's black people first. That's why my first point is they shouldn't be in South Africa. First things first. Second thing, they should be minding getting their noses out of black people's business. But thirdly, we need to find ourselves in a better position where these threats do nothing to us. And that's why I use Burkina Faso as an example. He's changed things up. He's not relying on aid, just like Thomas Sankara. And yesterday, this is why I went through all the achievements of President Ibrahim Traore yesterday, so that could be an example and a blueprint, so that we can all be versed on what it is a country that wants to be self-sufficient can do.
A question for Christel.
Yep.
So, do you think it's better if America and Russia are not trying to form an alliance versus at war? Like, what would be better for the world?
America and Russia have always been at war. They're never not going to be at war. Don't get that twisted. Just because Trump is here now, it doesn't mean that the position of American geopolitics will still not go back to Russia is not our ally, right?
So would you prefer
America
more
and Russia,
environments versus talking
Russia
versus them being like?
What
So
did you say, sorry?
would you prefer them to be hostile?
Shall I tell you what I prefer? I prefer America to totally implode on themselves. I want that I need that nation to not exist anymore. Like, I want it to implode. I want the stock market to go down the drain. I want them to go down a horrible depression, and I want them not to exist. That's my ideal. They too can fuck off as much as I'm concerned. But what I'm saying is, we don't understand the game that we're playing when we're thinking that America and Russia being allies is the best thing for the world, right? It just isn't. That's the reality. It just isn't. Putin, I understand. All Putin is trying to do is further the cause of trying to bring Russia back to the former USSR sovereignty and powers and land, right? Which we all understood why that is a problem. Right, we all understand why that is a problem. Why a nation that has nuclear weapons, why a nation where there is no accountability, why a nation that is doing a land grab is a problem. And if you as a black person don't understand that, then I don't really know.
I understand.
I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general. So having two nations them two warring cause so much issues in the world. For me, being allies, one, makes no sense, and two, I know that allyship will not last. China will not allow it to last. North Korea will never allow it to last. They are not going to allow their biggest ally to team up with their enemy. China already said yesterday, if you want a war, any type of war, a trade war, a sales war, any type of war, we'll fight it to the end. Do you think they're going to allow Russia to become America's ally on their watch? Impossible. North Korea will never allow it.
Yeah. I mean, but in that same regards, the energy that you have for America, which I can completely understand, I think it's also fair to have that same energy for the UK and Europe, because when you look at how obviously when Russia was the Soviet Union and now they've dismantled the USSR and you've got Russia. When you look at NATO and how NATO has expanded more into Europe, like I can completely understand and see how Russia would feel like, wait, NATO has expanded. I thought we had an agreement. You've got US military bases all across my neighboring country. To me, that seems more hostile than what Russia are potentially doing.
Sam, can you tag me in?
Yeah, go through.
All right. Chris, with regards to what Samuel said about Trump being anti-war, I have to agree he is anti-war. And I'll jump on the two things we were just talking about, Ukraine and Israel. With regards to Israel's a funny one because support of Israel is bipartisan. So whatever you want to say about Trump's support for Israel, you have to say about the Democrats, because regardless of what party, they're both pro-Israel. So regardless of who's in power, the cogs would have been turned in the same direction anyway, unfortunately, just because if you want to go down the rabbit hole, Israel, the APAC has everyone in their pockets, both left and right in America. So it doesn't really matter who's in power. The same stuff is going to happen regardless.
So you believe that America is Israel's puppet?
Yes.
Because that's what Samuel doesn't agree with.
Yeah, you haven't. That's the thing. You haven't disapproved my point. That was my point. That American geopolitics means that there's always going to be war. They need there to be war, and Israel being one of them. Yeah, I don't.
With Israel, okay, we agree then. But Israel, I say Israel's a moot point because regardless of who's in power, the same things are going to happen. So that's why Israel's a moot point. But with regards to Ukraine, it seems like you know a lot about geopolitics. So when you made that statement about how Russia, Putin wants to bring back the rise of the USSR, I think that's like a very lazy way of looking at what's going on with Ukraine. Ukraine promised not to join NATO because Russia wanted a buffer zone between Europe and Europe and Russia. Ukraine agreed. Europe agreed. Ukraine reneged. Europe started entertaining Ukraine to join in NATO. Russia said, I thought we had a deal. Europe said, just gave them the middle finger. They started the war. Now, if you look back into the Cuban Missile Crisis, the exact same thing happened with the Cuban Missile Crisis. Ukraine put missiles on Cuba. America said, yo, that's too close to America. You can send nukes to us if you wanted to. Russia said, so, don't care. Nearly started a nuclear war. Eventually, there was diplomatic agreements, and then they backed off, and they took away the missiles from Cuba. So the exact same thing happened in the 70s, and USA reacted in the exact same way Russia reacted.
Yeah, I'm still not really sure how you.
I'm just showing you that Russia's response to what's happened in Ukraine is actually understandable, given that USA did the exact same thing the Cuban Missile Crisis.
I don't disagree. Again, when you're saying, oh, it's lazy, no, it's not. It's actually the manifesto that Putin ran on. It's the manifesto that Putin always makes clear that he is trying to bring Russia back to its former sovereignty of how it was in the USSR. So it's not lazy. It's just a fact, right? Like, no, I'm just saying that's his motivations. Whatever happened, I understand what happened with Ukraine and understand why the war happened. I understand all of that. All I'm saying is that is still Putin's motivation. So regardless of whether it happens via Ukraine war, whether you annex Georgia, whether you do whatever you do in Czechoslovakia, like that is still his aim, no?
Yeah, but Russia, what they did was in response to a deal not being. If everyone had kept to what they said they were going to do, this wouldn't have happened. Russia had been reactive. Russia had been reactive. It's been painted in the West as if Russia just attacked Ukraine. No, they've reacted to a promise not being kept.
I'm not trying to argue about what imperialist states do or don't do. I don't care. I don't care whether they did it as a response to this. It doesn't bother me. Like, because at the end of the day, for me, it's still imperialism and colonialism and whatever. So exactly. it doesn't really matter to me, all this like in and out. The point that I was making of you said, because you came on saying that you're trying to rebut that Trump is not a president of war. And
Yeah,
what
so
I
let me
was
get
saying
that.
is, regardless of what his stance may be, because obviously it seems that you people sit down and have conversations with him, American geopolitics will always need a war, right? So there's always going to be one. There's always going to be a new thing. And if we're not careful, that new war, quote unquote, may become South Africa. It may become Burkina Faso. It may become Nigeria. It may become any piece of land that they need to exploit in order to survive. So that's the reason when you're saying he's not a thing of war, yeah, he just hasn't found his own personal one to fight yet. But he's
But what you're
continuing
saying
the ones that
actually,
have been left.
but what you're saying actually kind of kind of makes my point stronger because he's not a prisoner of war. He's actually going against the establishment by trying not to trying to stop that. Why do you think there's so many smear campaigns against him? Because if he went with the status quo, if he said, because look at what happened right before he
There's smear campaign because he's a cunt.
can before he got inaugurated, Biden sent lots of nukes to not lots of nukes, lots of missile heads to Ukraine. They're trying to exacerbate a war. Why would you do that right before, as the last thing you do before you leave office is to send more military gear to, because they want a war. Like the whole of the Biden administration, if Kamala was in that power, she would have been doing what Keir Starmer's doing, and then just adding more budget, adding more, stoking the fire. He's trying to stop the war, and look how much resistance he's been getting. The reason why there's so much of a smear campaign and all that is because if he fed the military industrial complex, everyone would love him because he's feeding the beast. Because he's trying to go against the current, that's why he's getting so much pushback.
So you think that he's so you think that the reason why he's trying to stop the war in Ukraine is because he's so anti-war, not that because he's actually trying to build an alliance with Putin and make sure that he can still take resources from Ukraine?
I'm not speaking to his motivation. All I'm saying is anti-war, and
Yeah, I'm saying,
I've made the case
and the
for
thing is,
why
and
he's
you keep-
anti-war. I can't
no,
speak
the
to his
thing is, and
motivation,
you
but he's
keep saying he's anti-war, and yet we said, okay, the war in Israel, and you said, well, that's a bipartisan thing. Okay, cool. But if he was so anti-establishment, why doesn't he move away from the bipartisan line? If he's so anti-establishment, right? Like if
because Israel's the different
no,
kettle of fish.
because you people love that argument. No, because you guys love that argument. He's so anti-establishment. He's not a career politician. He's so far from the capital. So if he was such a radical, why doesn't he take that stance?
Because he'll get head topped. That's why.
Okay, cool. So then he's not as anti-war as you people think he is. That's just the point. Yeah. Why? His head will be topped because that is the American position that you have to take. The American position that you have to take is there's a war, we are on this side, fight it, right? If he was so anti-establishment, he himself would have also come in and said, Netanyahu, this is not going to run. Because if it's America first and we do not want to fund wars, then be consistent. You cannot have one stance on one thing and have another. Guys come and have all these things. The reason why he wants to stop the war in Ukraine is because America also has a benefit in understanding Ukraine now has large deposits of certain natural resources. He wants to start a trade war somewhere. So how else can he make sure his trade war makes sense but having the natural resources he needs? If he was so anti-establishment and so America first, lock off the war in Gaza. Lock it off.
I believe.
Do you know what laws of hierarchy is?
Sorry, Black Rob. I also believe that I guess to not Charlie's point, what's his name? Samuel. Money is being given to Israel like water, right? And he doesn't want that, 100%. But his solution is genocide, Palestine, no, quick. That's his solution. This is the issue that I have. And that benefits Israel. So 100%, if that's how you want to frame that he wants to stop the war, cool. The money that they are giving to Israel, he doesn't like that, 100%. But he can't turn around and say, Israel, I'm not sending you any money anymore. Instead, he's saying, let's quicken this. Let's quicken it. Let's just remove them quickly so that we don't have to keep on giving them money. That's how I see it. My honest opinion.
You're correct. He said, let's make this quick. But also, didn't he say, okay, this is, you have to be very touchy in how you discuss this. But before he came into power, it was carte blanche. Netanyahu, he was allowed to do what he wanted. He was just bombing the hell out of the place, right? And then Trump came in and said, yo, stop the bombing, move them. Now, as while I agree with Chris L that this is their land, all that type, we can get into all that stuff. He's saying move them rather than kill them.
And that's a great alternative.
That's crazy.
It's a move in the right
Black Rob, that's
direction.
crazy.
Oh my
Black
God.
Rob, that's crazy because
I don't agree.
Israel
I
want
don't
them
agree with
moved.
either.
That's crazy.
I don't agree with him. I don't agree with him. I'm telling you, that's his mindset.
Yeah, and that's crazy. And that's why we're telling you that's why we don't like this human being. It is crazy. You are literally saying genocide and ethnic cleansing is
I'm
a
not saying-
solution.
No, we're
I'm not saying this.
that. We're not.
But if you're saying that Trump wanted to move them is crazy, then you should have the same venom for his predecessors that were letting them carpet bomb them.
Please stop doing this. What I don't like is people assuming that I am
I
for
have no
what the
love for
Democrats
Biden
said, right?
at all.
I am anti-Gaza genocide. I am anti-war in Israel. I don't care who it is. Even if it was an African nation that came and said it, I am anti. So stop.
Okay, so
now that I've made my stance, maybe you can stop that. But okay, let's go back. So on Sunday, what was the first day of Ramadan? What was the first day of Ramadan? Netanyahu came out and said, ceasefire done. We're going back to what we're doing. Collective punishment, whatever. What has Trump said about that?
Nothing.
Okay. You're anti-war president?
As I said, Israel's a different kettle of fish to Ukraine. Ukraine does a stronger stance.
It is a war. And you said that this guy is so anti-war, so therefore his stance on it should be consistent to what you're saying he is. He is not anti-war.
But if your whole cabinet has tapes in freaking, if there's tapes of your whole cabinet in freaking Epstein Island and everyone's been compromised.
You guys loved him so much because you said he was so anti-establishment.
He was going to
go against status quo. Oh my God, he's not bought by any politicians. He's so independent. He's a business person. And he's doing exactly what every other politician does, right?
But that's why I said self-preservation. Maslow's law of hierarchy. Self-preservation is the first thing you want to do.
That man don't need no damn. You people come up with such senseless arguments for Trump. It's actually insane.
Crystal, from my understanding, Trump was saying that if Hamas don't release the remaining hostages, then like basically it's going to be peaked. It's going to go back to what it was like before. That was from my understanding. I could be wrong though.
Yeah. And so what's that saying? War. He's saying if you guys don't do what I want, I am going to keep the war going. Right? That's literally what he's saying.
But it's not just what I want. Wasn't there an agreement that both sides would release hostages, like to broker, this deal?
Yeah, and they have been releasing hostages. Hamas has released hostages. I think the reason why Israel might be a bit upset is that the propaganda of how their hostages came out may not have been the propaganda that they thought would come out, right?
No, I don't think that's the case. I think they've stopped. They haven't continued to release hostages.
They literally released a hostage 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, but there's more. It's since that 2 weeks.
And it's supposed to be a phased release, right? So they release Palestinian hostages, they release Israeli hostages, right? Cool. So when Netanyahu comes and says, if you're not going to do it based on how I want to do it, we go back to the position that it was. Collective punishment. We go back to a war. We're not letting aid in. So what is the response from your anti-war president? If he's so anti-war, what is his response? But stoking war.
I mean, from my understanding, listen, if there's an agreement, I don't know what their actual terms were. Like, okay, it's going to be phased. It's going to be every 2 weeks. It's all coming out in one go. But it seems like the agreement on both sides hasn't been kept. So, unfortunately, like...
No. But what I'm saying is, you said that your guy is so anti-war. Whether agreement hasn't been kept, whether an agreement hasn't been kept, the response of Israel is, we are going back to the war. So if your anti-war president was so anti-war, why isn't his stance to go back to the table? Let's figure out another deal to stop the war.
We don't know that. We don't know if he's not doing that. We don't know.
But where is the... Yeah, and the thing is, what's funny is, you guys always say, we didn't know, we don't know. But every time you want to come and predicate a thing that's good, it's as if you've had a personal conversation with him, right? If he has not put out a statement... and if he has not put out a statement saying, let's go back to the table, then he hasn't put out a statement. We can stand on that, right? He has not set a public stance, right? And if he has not put a public stance, then the only thing that we can assume is that he's okay for Israel to go back to the status quo of bombing, right? Is that a logical assumption to make?
That's a logical assumption you can make.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I've made the logical assumption. So when you say we don't know, it seems like a very illogical assumption based on the fact that he makes his position clear on everything else. And on this one thing, he doesn't make a position clear. And now we don't know.
I mean, it's been 16 hours since he made his there was something posted yesterday, news articles on the hostages need to be immediately released. So, I mean, that's his stance.
Yeah, no, but what's his stance on what Netanyahu did on Sunday, on the first day of Ramadan, when Muslims started fasting, and he said, we're going back to collective punishment. We're not letting any aid come into Gaza. What is his stance? I want to know what is his current stance as of from Sunday. What is his stance?
I can maybe find it for you, but I don't know if he's actually expressed anything.
That's all you need to find. But if he hasn't got a stance, your anti-war president isn't so anti-war.
I still believe he's anti-war, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't have a problem with your opinion. I never have a problem with someone's opinion. I have a problem with what your opinion is founded on, because when we ask you for facts, or when we say give us this, Trump supporters can never give it. But we on the other side can always give logical things to be like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at that. Hey, look at this.
I gave logical things, but you didn't accept it. The logical things I gave was
you didn't give logical things to me.
All right, Brent. Thank you.
No. Oh, God damn it. I mean, the video thing for me is very pertinent because it just happened, and I asked Emmanuel about the same thing. So I put it to you, and the response that you gave, like, it tells me
it's distasteful.
Yeah, and I don't mind that you obviously have a difference of opinion. I appreciate that, right? But you get onto me as though I should love Trump the way you love Trump.
No, I didn't say that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well,
Brent.
you call me a deranged Trump, like something.
Yeah, Trump derangement syndrome is anything Trump does, good or bad, is always bad. And I just think.
But that's why I asked you about the good stuff he did, and then
And
you started
you
telling
guys
me
can
about.
never give us.
Then you started telling me about stuff that I was like, what you talking about? So anyway, Christelle, thank you very much. We need to
Take
go.
care, Brent.
Samuel, I need you back on regularly. Your connection's clean.
Yeah, I can only do Thursdays and Fridays, the days I work from home.
That is all right. That is all right. But we appreciate you being in the chat. And I will be asking you to come to the Discord when something else happens to Trump. I now know that you're going to be able to speak to it, right? Without looking to be like Emmanuel. So I want you to be an active Thursday and Friday Discorder.
Sure thing. I'll be
You're
around.
fantastic. Thank you very much. Eddie, thank you very much for chiming in. You did it at the right time.
My pleasure.
Good. Later. All right. Let's
Pick up Eddie.
let's go to the wrap up, please.
Oh,
Sorry,
that's
headlines.
All right, people. So our last set of headlines. This is crazy. So more than 900,000 Londoners say that they are unable to work full time because of a long-term health condition, including a rising number of younger adult Londoners blaming mental health issues. A City Hall report has revealed that over the last decade, there has been a 62% increase in the number of Londoners reporting a work-limiting mental health condition. This has increased by almost 90,000, from 147,000 in 2014 to 236,000 in 2022. This is according to the GLA economics report. The report also said that London faces a long-term sickness challenge, with 15% of working-age Londoners limited in the type or the amount of work that they can do. Among the 16 to 24 age group, almost 5%, big up the 5% centers, almost 5% said that they were limited in how much work that they could do because of a mental health issue. The report said that this may be related to patterns of health-related economic inactivity since the pandemic, although the trend began before COVID. Next headline, this is a big trigger warning. I'm going to give you some information about a dirty animal. A Chinese PhD student convicted of drugging and raping 10 women in London and China is feared to have targeted more than 50 more potential victims. Zhen Haozhu, who's 28, was convicted of the heroin attacks, involving 2 women who have been identified and another 8 who have yet to be traced. He filmed 9 of the attacks as souvenirs and kept a trophy box of women's belongings. This is what the jurors in his trial were told. Judge Rosina Cottage said that he is a dangerous and predatory sexual offender and warned him that he faces a very long jail term when he's sentenced on June the 19th. After a month-long trial, Zhu, who was most recently living in Elephant and Castle, Southeast London, was found guilty of raping 3 women in London and another 7 in China. This is between the dates September 2019 and May of 2023. And our last headline, the United States' decision to suspend foreign aid is exacerbating a catastrophic hunger crisis in Sudan, where millions risk dying from malnutrition-related illnesses. Since assuming office in January, the US President Donald Trump's administration has put on leave or fired the vast majority of employees at the US Agency of International Development, the USAID, and paused almost all of the global projects that it funds. Last year, USAID contributed 44% to Sudan's $1.8 billion humanitarian response, this according to the United Nations. A portion of the sum went to supporting emergency response rooms, which are neighborhood relief groups that support hundreds of community kitchens across the country. Hajuj Kuka, who is the spokesperson for the emergency response rooms, basically said about 80% of the 1,460 community kitchens across Sudan was shut down when the USAID paused all funding. Despite the efforts of ERR volunteers, which is the emergency response rooms, more than 600,000 people in Sudan are coping with famine levels of hunger, and some 8 million are on the verge of slipping into famine. This according to the UN Integrated Food Security Phase classification, which is done by the Global Hunger Monitor. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills.
Bloody hell, America. Trump's America.
All right, people. It's been a great show. Thank you for tuning in, of course. Big up Ghana again. Happy Independence Day.
Come on.
Thank you, Mr. Kwame Nkrumah. Your contributions can never, ever be underestimated. Today we spoke about the US will stopping sharing intelligence on Russia with Ukraine. Remember, they paused basically all of their military aid to Ukraine, and they did that on Monday. And we also spoke about how the UN has backed the Arab plan for Gaza. Obviously, the US and Israel, they're in opposition to that. But I'm glad to hear that the Arab League proposal, which is an initiative, spearheaded by Egypt, basically to rebuild Gaza for the Palestinians. Also, we spoke about the UK, France, and Germany saying that the aid that's being frozen, going into the humanitarian aid that's been frozen, stopped by Israel, is basically could breach international law. We also spoke about China saying they're ready for any type of war with America. We spoke about Mahmoud rejecting the sentencing changes after 2-tier claims. And we also spoke about the sad news of that young boy, 16-year-old, who was shot in Stockwell by a delivery driver. We also spoke about the nearly 1 million Londoners who said that they can't work full-time because of a health condition. And we spoke about a Chinese PhD student who was studying in the UK who's actually guilty of drugging and raping 10 women. This animal had 50 more people that he was potentially trying to target as well. And we spoke about the USAID suspending all of their global projects. And one of the biggest ones being affected right now is Sudan. And for topic of the day, of course, we spoke about if we were president, man, what would we do? So probably bring that back because there's so many different questions. And of course, we got into a debate in the Discord. Thank you so much, guys, for calling up. Samuel, big up Samuel every time.
Every time.
Big up Crystal every time.
Every time.
Who else was there?
Black Rob.
Big up Black Rob every time.
Big up Eddie.
Big up Eddie every time. You know what I'm saying? Big up all of you guys who contribute to the Discord. You know what I'm saying? Call up every day, man. And I believe that's it. We'll be here tomorrow, man. We'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's topic of the day is going to be a bit of a... We've kind of touched on it before, but I want you guys to see a clip. Christy knows what I'm talking about. So it'll be a bit of fun.
I thought you were going to do the topic where we say, can we actually handle the truth?
No. We know the answer.
Okay.
But yeah, man, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back here 8 a.m. tomorrow. And yeah, have a blessed day, man.
Don't worry, Izzy Bambino. Tomorrow he will answer your question
Oh, what's the question?
about the tariffs that you said you were going to answer.
Oh crap! Sorry, thank you for reminding me. I said this before. So basically, Brent asked me, "Oh, so what do you disagree with Trump?" Because obviously he was acting as though I agree with every damn thing Trump does, and I
I don't know
said,
where I got that from.
neither do I, right? But I basically said one of the main things is I disagree with the tariffs. I don't believe in the mercantile economic school of thought. I don't believe in, export everything and, what I mean? There's no bloody imports. I don't believe in that at all. I like Krista. I agree with Krista completely when she's talking about protectionism. It just does not work in economics. It doesn't work. So yes, I don't agree with Trump on that at all. I really don't. But I believe what Samuel said is correct. I think he's trying to use that as leverage to basically balance the playing field. I think he doesn't like the dynamics between America and the rest of the world, and he just wants to improve it for America. At least that's what I think his motivation is. But in terms of that as an economic policy, of course, I definitely disagree with that. But yeah, that's
All
pretty much
right.
it.
See y'all tomorrow.
Peace.
Later.